everywhere I applied back in May, they were all on free job freezes. People are starting to come back now, but there's still several companies that are still doing job freezes.
Yeah. Hey, sorry to bother you for you. I'm trying to get the screen created, and it says the manifest cannot be loaded. The manifest cannot be loaded. I will say this isn't all my fault. Part of it. Well, if you're interested in broadcasting, then basketball.
Was it PA? I would. I did some play-by-play last year for Piedmont, again for a couple of the schools.
What are you guys laughing at?
Hey.
I mean, they were thought it was so funny.
We do like game of the week. Sponsors.
Oh, you're saying playing that. I'm sorry. Yeah, we're playing that. Sorry. I got it.
Today and get to a better state. Big Farm is proud supporter of Piedmont Public Schools and of our Piedmont community. Personal and business checking and savings to loans, credit, and convenient online banking. F&M Bank is your local hometown bank. Stability, reliability, and service. These words define F&M Bank in everything we do every day. With 8 convenient locations to better serve you and online at fnmbankok.com. Experience relationship banking at F&M Bank for FDIC and equal housing.
Bring quality custom-built home, call the experts at Lee Custom Homes. We've been making dreams come true since 2008. We're currently building in Yukon, Mustang, Oklahoma City, Piedmont, and the lakes in Timber Ridge. We don't just build houses, we build homes for your family. Call Lee Custom Homes today at 405-408-2055 or visit us online at LeeCustomHomes.com. Like us on Facebook. Lee Custom Homes, and Lee above the rest.
So, the camera is pretty simple. It's just
You got me all hooked up. Thank you.
The standard for innovative servant leadership.
Pretty simple.
Service-oriented classrooms
You're just
to a
going to follow the
vibrant
ball,
campus
all that
community.
stuff. It's
15
pretty smooth
NCAA
platform,
Division
so
II
it'll work
athletic
pretty
programs, competitive
easily.
internships, and
But
high
tonight,
job
it's simply
placements. We
camera.
lead by example.
And then,
Teachers and coaches ready to work on an administrator degree to be principal. This is your best choice. There are lots of leaders in your field. Do you want to stand out? Explore their programs at
it's
snu.edu.
basically just, we got different hubs, we got video boards,
Check out broadcast formerly known as the Wild Base on the go downtown Piedmont. Tees, trees, hats, or in men's, women's, and youth sizes. You can find what you need to cheer on our Wildcats in styles. PWD also reserves TV awards and custom embroidery and printing for your business or special event.
Yes, it's foldable. So if it's a deep pass, and just follow the ball. And you're gonna, I mean, you're gonna mess up some. It's just part of it. Everybody messes up with cameras. But just follow the ball. So, yep, you got it.
Got that truck all loaded down. I should've known how. Hello, I'm Eric Anderson. Don't let these times get you down. We have the answers. Come and see us.
This is more than a bundle. It's more than a combo deal. It's not just stuff. This is your home, your car. And you want to give them the protection they deserve. With home and auto insurance. State Farm agents get it. It's why they're here. Talk to State Farm agent Ann Smith in Edmond today.
Oh, they asked for that.
You might have a couple other things going on. I feel like that's going to be a huge job. I didn't know anything about it. You told me. We talked about it right now. I know it. You said there was pizza. That's the first time I've heard of it. I didn't know there was any pizza. Guess I got the right thing around here.
But under the right lights, come together as one. For the victory together as one. That's why countless while we don't know what this is, coming into tonight's contest of a team
When the Piedmont Wildcats play, it's only no time to It's game time. That's the shot. Here's the water. Soaks up down.
Piedmont Wildcats opponent tonight is the Reno Indians. According to the overtime last week, got the Indians off on the right to start the eighth, but a team process will be out for El Reno tonight. Indians score Indians to the 2 touchdowns and 4 touchdowns to lead the extra touchdown in overtime for El Reno. Coming off a 1,600 rushing yard, 1,300 passing yard season a year ago. And the Indians are going to rely on sophomore and Golden Nose at quarterback tonight.
Lots of Dorian trying to keep up with you. My name is Attorney Judge. I understand and help you simplify better safety because we can't handle you'll have more time to handle everything else. More money because adding safe farm policies discounts that could add up to 40% can actually help you get ahead. Call State Farm agent Dan Smith Edmund at 405-751-4800
Not here tonight, had surgery earlier this week. Not with the team, and we sent our best wishes out to
schools and of our Piedmont community. From personal and business checking and savings to loans and credit and convenient online banking, F&N Bank is your local hometown bank. Stability, reliability, and service. These words apply at F&N Bank in everything we do every day. With 8 convenient locations to better serve you in online at fnbank.com. Experience relationship banking at F&N Bank for FDIC.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what Joey Martin does.
Quality custom-built home. Call the experts at Lead Custom Homes. We've been making dreams come true since 2008. We are currently building in Yukon, Mustang, Oklahoma City, Piedmont, and the Lakes at Timber Ridge. We don't just build houses. We build homes for your family. Call Lead Custom Homes today at 405-408-2055. Or visit us online at leadcustomhomes.com. And be sure to like us on Facebook. Lead Custom Homes, a league above the rest.
13 touchdowns, 7.5 yards per carry.
18 1999, Southern Nazarene University has set the standard for innovative servant leadership through service-oriented classrooms to a vibrant campus community, 15 NCAA Division II athletic programs, competitive internships, and high job placement. Lead by example, teachers and coaches ready to work on an administrative degree to be principal. This is your best choice. There are lots of leaders in your field. You want to stand out? Explore their programs at snu.edu.
Check out formerly known as the Mondays on Monroe in downtown Piedmont. Or in made-inspired sizes. What you need to cheer on our Wildcats in style. TWBO is your source for
which is saying a lot because the defense last year was tremendous.
Go Cats!
Filled with that reminders that know how to. Hey, I got you. They know how to stop. And I expect the same rush tonight. And there's two players khakis on it.
They will be put to the test tonight by Reno and the offense to get 262 yards through the air. We can go for Oriental College. To just 84 yards on the ground, which is considerably below the 200. Devereaux at running back as well, and a host of receivers and tight end Colton Hunt lead a very talented skill position group.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really looking to see what Darius Moore does. He's a linebacker and a running back in this system. And again, with El Reno, this Canadian County rivalry is heating up. Last year, we've seen these two teams. They met in the first week of the season, and Piedmont ended El Reno's season last year. And it's going to be a lot of fun as they've both slowly improved over the years, with Piedmont going from a 6-5 record to a 10-3 record last year, and El Reno improved 2 games to 8-3 compared to 2018's 6-5. So these two teams are heating up in 5A. They're ranked right beside each other in the Oklahoma number 3 and number 4. It looks like we're going to get a heck of a game, arguably, in my opinion, the game of the week.
We'll definitely keep you posted on scores from around the state as we get those throughout the evening. And just a reminder, you can listen to the High School Scoreboard Show after our game here on Crossover Radio Sports. Joel Reagan, our very own, will be hosting that as part of the crew there. So be sure to keep it tuned here to Crossover Radio Sports at the conclusion of this game. And Ian, it would, the season starting tonight, a lot of excitement, but also some very tough feelings in the crowd tonight as Piedmont senior Jackson Kirby passing away earlier this week as a result of injury sustained in a car accident. And it's a heavy crowd here tonight, no doubt about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Just started his senior year. Was a baseball player, so was an athlete, much like these guys tonight. I expect Piedmont to come out with a fire as they play for their fallen teammate and classmate. And it's just an unfortunate situation as we had heavy rains, and just it's very unfortunate. I woke up to that on Tuesday. A friend texted me that that Jackson Kirby had passed, and I was just shocked, because you never want to see that. You never want to see a Wildcat pass away, or anybody pass away. So very somber night, but nevertheless we play.
And play we shall here in the next few moments. We'll step aside for a quick break, and when we come back, we will have the national anthem and all of the pregame festivities here on Crossover Radio Sports. This is Piedmont Football, presented by Rob's Ranch.
Pride of Piedmont with the national anthem this evening. And Ian, we had the opportunity to speak to Piedmont coach Jeff Hall earlier this week discussing tonight's game against El Reno, and we'll hear from him and get his pregame thoughts right now. As Piedmont coach Jeff Hall giving us his pregame insights, and Ian, as the team's set to take the field here in Piedmont, let's get some keys to the game. What do you think on one on offense, one on defense? What do the Wildcats need to do to start the season out with a win tonight?
Well, I think defensively, you just got to apply pressure to Evan Romano's. Sophomore quarterback, 6'1", 175 pounds. If you get him rattled early, I don't think there's any chance he recovers. Offensively, just do what you're doing. You got to remain disciplined. Do not fumble the ball. That's what cost them the game in week 1 of last year against this El Reno team. I'm expecting them to handle the ball a lot better, especially with some new pieces coming in.
So both teams, again, behind their banners in the east end zone, as we are perched high atop the press box here at F&M Bank Stadium, Stoutfield. Beautiful facility here, Ian. A remake with new turf and everything just a few years ago, and it's a fantastic facility with just a tremendous view of downtown Oklahoma City in the distance to the southeast.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, this is my high school, so I got to call JV football, soccer here, and this view never gets old. And I'm excited to be back, and I'm excited to call this game with you as El Reno runs onto the field right now, and they are playing the hype video for Piedmont football. I think we got a good one in hand. I'll say it once, I'll say it again.
Looking forward to it. We will be here all season long here on Crossover Radio Sports, your home for sports from a different perspective. Piedmont won the toss and will defer to the second half. So it will be the El Reno Indians with the football to start this one as the Piedmont Wildcats take the field here at the beginning of the 2020 season. Great crowd on hand, pretty much a full house for the Wildcats. The Piedmont band across the way, just to give fans a little bit more space to spread out. Everyone in the stands is required to wear a mask in the stands, around the facility. Coaches on the sidelines have masks on as well. So, Ian, a lot of precautions have been taken, again, to make this season happen. And it's important for everyone to jump on board and follow along in order for this year to be a success.
Yeah, absolutely. We don't want to see another canceled season. You feel bad for the seniors of last year in those spring sports, and we don't want to see that same thing happen again. So I will say, interesting that they deferred, because sometimes what they usually do, I wouldn't be surprised if I saw an onside kick out of Piedmont just to put them on their toes. They've done that before. I wouldn't be surprised if they do it again.
So we'll definitely be watching if Preston Fancher tees one up low and sends it with a little trickery to start the year. That would be quite the way to start the season with the onside kick, much less the game itself, but the season with an onside kick. That would send a message early.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Jeff Hall is, I'm not going to lie, he's a riverboat gambler, and it pays off for him. He knows how to make a splash, and it wouldn't surprise me if we see that at some point. We get a little onside kick or some special teams trickery. Again, one of the keys. Caden Hendren last year in their playoff game returned the ball, returned a punt for a touchdown. I expect El Reno to step up on that end as well.
Both teams take the field. El Reno in the traveling white uniforms. Navy numerals, El Reno across the front, Navy helmets and Navy pants. Piedmont with the home golds, blue numbers trimmed in white helmets with numbers on both sides. It's a beautiful night for football, a great crowd. Thanks for joining us here on Crossover Radio Sports and on viewing the video portion on Squirtle. Mikey Devereaux and Darius Moore back deep to receive as Preston Fancher tees it up for the Wildcats. Marks off his paces, and we are just about set to go here with the 2020 football season. Fancher sends it deep. A knuckleballer bounces low. Moore fields it about the 9, heading up the right side, and is going to be tackled at the 30-yard line by number 60, Machiavelli Ramirez. And that is where the Indians will take over 1st and 10. And Ian, big important drive here for both El Reno with starting quarterback Evan Romanos to set things up, and the defense for Piedmont to set the pace as well.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing about that triple option offense is that it chews up so much clock. So
3 wide receivers left, 1 to the right. Romanos in the shotgun with Moore. He rolls left, fires incomplete. It was a low pass to Kobe Null, and it'll bring up 2nd and 10.
And good on Caden Hendren for diving on the receiver right there. He could have caught that, dove on it, dropped the ball. That's how that play should have been. That's the best thing you want from your Wildcat defense.
2nd and 10 for El Reno. 2 wide receivers left, 1 to the right. Hunt the tight end. Romanos fakes the give and is smothered in the backfield. A whole host of Wildcats in on that tackle. Riley Waitscoat in there.
Yeah, Waitscoat
Cameron
right
West
there.
and Caden Hendry there as well.
Yeah, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. This offensive line, or I guess the defensive line, they've beefed up. And we'll notice in the offensive line as well, they've beefed up 20 pounds on all sides. Big 3rd down right here for the El Reno Indians. If they do not get a 1st down here, I don't think they'll see the ball for a long time.
3rd and 12. Devereaux, the running back, to the left of Romanos. It's Mitchell, the man in motion, to the right. They swing it out to Devereaux in the backfield, and he's snowed under. Caden Hendren came on the outside and took the legs out from Devereaux. Loss of 3 on the play, and it will bring up 4th down.
There's a reason he is the number 65 Vipe Oklahoma player of the season. This man is going to get some D1 offers. He's being slept on right now by all of college football. This is going to be his breakout year as El Reno gets ready to punt.
Cameron West back to receive the kick. Low punt. The punter fielded it from his knees. The official did not blow it dead. And it's West picking his way on the left side. Excuse me, that's Hendren. Cuts it back down the sideline. Makes another man miss at the 30. Can he take it all the way down the sidelines? Cuts inside of the 10, 5, and he dives. Touchdown, Piedmont!
He did it in the playoff game. He did it again. That is 6 for Caden Hendren, who is still being slept on.
There is a flag back at the 38-yard line.
What a play.
It stands as a 63-yard punt return for a touchdown. We'll see what the flag is. It is an illegal block in the back on Piedmont, and that will come back.
Unfortunate. That would have been a statement right there. And unfortunately, Piedmont will get the ball at the 29-yard line. Man, you still get the ball, thankfully, but that's a gut punch. Even though it's the first quarter, like you wanted that touchdown to set the tone early.
Indeed, Jeff Hall talking with the referee, asking for clarification on if the punter was down when he fielded the low snap. Looked like from our angle, it was very close at most. Or at best for El Reno, it was very close.
Yeah.
But couldn't tell the punter's number from here. I'm sorry about that. We will definitely get that for you as the evening goes along. But 1st and 10 for the Wildcats at the 28-yard line. Joey Mars at quarterback. The give is up the middle to number 2, Wesley Morrison, and he picks his way the way up to the 38-yard line. It'll be enough for a 1st down.
Junior, 5'11", 190 pounds, Wesley Morrison with the run. That's how the triple option works. You have 2 options. You could hold on to it. You could pitch it to your left, pitch it to your right. And I expect a lot of fakes. This offense is phenomenal. And in his only 2nd year at Piedmont, he's got it working like a well-oiled machine.
Wildcats averaged 302 yards on the ground a season ago. Mars with the hard count and gets the Wildcats to jump in the middle there. Well, it's number 69, Angel Guzman, jumping off sides. That'll be a 5-yard penalty. So it'll be 1st and 5 now for the Wildcats at the 43-yard line. Moving right to left as you listen to the game on Crossover Radio Sports on your phone. Mars, the dive to Morrison, around the left side, is hit hard by Luke Claiborne at the 49-yard line. It will be enough for the 1st down. But Claiborne with a hard hit there. 6-yard gain for Morrison, and that'll move the chains.
That was aggressive for sure, but great run by Wesley Morrison. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, and that's what they did on that play. Fantastic work from this Wildcat offense.
Morrison taking the place of Pickard in the backfield. And Pickard 219 carries, by far the most of this Wildcats offense a season ago. Mars gives to Morrison again, working through the middle. He's going to be wrapped up and taken down. The officials rule him down. There was a fumble on the play, but the officials ruled him down. El Reno sideline not pleased. It looked like Darius Moore, was the man on the tackle.
He's going to be a guy to watch out for in this El Reno defense. He is a phenomenal athlete, 6'1", 220 pounds, outside linebacker for the El Reno Indians. I think it was an honorable mention no, I believe he was 98, number 98 on that list of preseason VIPE, that list.
So 2nd and 5 on the 46-yard line of El Reno. 2 wide receivers left. Mars gives it up the middle again. That's Morrison once again. Just a 1-yard gain. Guzman in there on the tackle.
Just some simple handoffs right now. Again, they're still learning the offense. We'll see if they run a pass play. It wouldn't surprise me if they could do some pass plays pretty well. But I think you want to keep it simple on this drive and chew up a little more clock.
Probably 2-down territory here, just outside the 45-yard line of El Reno. 3rd down and we'll call it a long 4. 2 wide receivers left. Everyone in tight inside the hash marks. Mar, the pitch out to Johnny Jones. Cuts up field at the 45, gets down to the 40-yard line, and that's a 1st down for Piedmont. Beautiful cut by Jones to dodge a tackler back at the 45-yard line.
And that pitch worked beautifully. Tackled by Darius Moore in that play. Just ran over to the outside of the 40-yard line. That was some good stuff, and that's what you needed on that 3rd down play if you're Piedmont.
7 minutes to go here in the 1st quarter. No score between Piedmont and El Reno. 1st and 10 Piedmont at the El Reno 40-yard line. This drive started back at their own 28-yard line after the block in the back on the Hendren punt return touchdown. Mars gives to Morrison. He's bottled up in the backfield. Did a great job to get one. He's taken down combination Aiden Dyer and Mikey Devereaux on the tackle. Just a gain of, they're going to give him maybe a half yard and spot it on the other side of the 40-yard line. We'll call it a gain of 0 there for Morrison.
And it looks like Morrison will probably be the primary back, and he's doing a good job, the junior. We'll see what they run here.
Mars checks to the sideline here. Receiver to either side for Piedmont. El Reno down in a 4-man front right now. Mars gives it to Morrison, finds a gap on the right side. Stiff arms on Claiborne, and he's knocked to the ground by Moore. Ball popped free again, but it was after he was down.
He's got to hold on to that ball.
Pickup of 9 by Morrison. But that, like you said, Ian, that is now twice that the ball has popped out, even after he was down. They do mark it at about the 32-yard line. We'll call it 8.
It's a very long one. Looks like 1.5 for sure, but yeah, absolutely. Wesley Morrison needs to hold on to the ball. That's what cost them. I think they had 4 turnovers in their game last year, in which they lost 13-7. This is a big 3rd down right here. And again, I think you're in 2-down territory.
Absolutely.
At the 31.
Everyone in tight again. Mars gives to Morrison, finds space on the right side, cuts it back, and is taken down at the 26-yard line. Aiden Dyer coming off the pile last, along with Mikey Devereaux.
The great thing about that triple run option, just chip away. Just keep on chipping away. And, you know, you get a big play. You only need to average 3 yards, and you're good. And one big play changes everything.
Wide receiver either side for Mars as he checks to the sideline. Jacob Anglin, the man in motion there prior to the check. Mars with the pitch. It's going to be Jacob Copeland trying to get outside, unable to do so. Taken down there, I believe, is number 4, Xavier Devereaux.
Had a good opportunity right there. Could not get past Xavier Devereaux, 6'5", 185 junior from El Reno. That wasn't a bad play. It was a good pitch. Just couldn't get past that defender.
Mars under center again. 16, Brock Tatar in the backfield. And he's got it right up the middle, carrying defenders. Moore finally brings him down at the 11-yard line, but not before a gain of 14 yards and another Piedmont 1st down.
First time we've seen his name called today. Fantastic run. Bulldozed his way through and had to wait on Darius Moore to bring him down in the red zone now as the Wildcats keep it going. Chewing up almost 4 minutes of clock right now as they get into the red zone.
3:40 to go, first quarter. No score, Piedmont and El Reno. 1st and 10 at the 11. 2 wide receivers to the left. Jones, the man in motion. The give is to Datar again up the left side. Moore again with the tackle, his 5th of the drive. They mark him down at the 8-yard line. Pickup of 3 for Datar.
And again, just little by little. And you have a 2nd down and 7 at the moment. And
El Reno defense facing directly into that setting sun. Taking a lot of energy, a lot of time are the Wildcats, and just draining El Reno of energy here. Under 3 minutes to go now. 2nd and 7 from the El Reno 8-yard line. Copeland, the man in motion. Marr gives to Datar right up the middle. A whole host of Indians there on the tackle. Guzman and Dyer last off the pile as he gets down to the 3. 5-yard gain there. So it'll be 3rd and 2.
Wonder what they will decide to do here. Hey, I haven't seen Joey Mars' arm yet. We won't see it very often, but when it comes out, it's going to be on big plays like so. And also, give credit to this offensive line. They've been holding the fort down.
Man in motion is Anglin. The give is to Datar right up the middle, and he plows his way into the end zone for the Piedmont touchdown. 3 yards into the end zone for Datar as he carried the ball the last 4 times to give Piedmont their first points of the season. And Ian, a dominating first drive for Piedmont there.
Absolutely. What a play right there from Brock Datar, who's just been pushing his way into the end zone. Here's the kick from Talon Cope, and the kick is good. That makes it 7-0 with 2:06 remaining here at F&M Bank Stadium.
2:06 to go, 7-0 Piedmont. We will be right back after this. This is Wildcat Football presented by Rob's Ranch.
I'm Ian. Okay. All right, that's cool. Hey, no, it's all good.
Welcome back to Piedmont. Wildcats leading El Reno 7-0. 2:06 to go, first quarter, after a dominating opening possession of the 2020 season. 13 plays and 72 yards for the Wildcats as they take it down and score on a 3-yard Brock Datar touchdown run. And Preston Fancher on to kick it away. It's going to be Cade Mayo and Mikey Devereaux back deep to receive for the Indians. Fancher sends this one away. It's going to be Mayo looking up into the sun, fields it at the 3. Moving along the right sideline, makes a cut, and he's going to be taken down at the 25-yard line.
That's
by Jacob Anglin.
Good tackle right there by him. First time we've seen his name, or we mentioned him today. Hasn't been getting a carry yet. And now time for this Piedmont defense to step up again.
3 and out for El Reno, the first go-round. All on the hands of backup quarterback Evan Romanos. Again, if you're just joining us, starting quarterback Dorian Plumley out for this game. Looked like some sort of foot injury. He had his left foot in a boot. He's down there on the sidelines, being an encouragement to his teammates. 4 wide receivers set, 2 to either side. Devereaux in the backfield. A little bit of a high snap. Romanos pulls it down and is taken down in the backfield. A loss of 1 as Joey Mars coming up from his middle linebacker position takes down Romanos for a loss of 1.
Could not find a man to pass to run to. He had nowhere to go on that play.
So 2nd and 11. El Reno quickly behind the chains here. 2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Romanos running off left tackle. He's got some space. He's tripped up, but stumbles across the 30-yard line to the 31. It was Mars again with the tackle.
Joey Mars again tripped him up. Good tackle of the feet. Tripped him up, prevented him from getting any yards. 3rd down and 5. This is their first. I think this is their first positive yardage.
Positive yardage of the game. So 3rd down and 4 from the 31-yard line. 2 wide receivers right, 1 to the left. 1 minute to go here in the first quarter. Romanos rolling right. He's snowed under in the backfield. Nice pass out to Cole Mitchell, who's caught it right at the 35-yard line. It will be enough for the first down. A great tackle there by Jacob Anglin, and a nice throw by Romanos as he was getting plastered in the backfield.
Yeah, he was about to get lit up, and he threw it just in time. Good tackle by Jacob Anglin. Close but no cigar. It'll be another first down for the Indians as the clock keeps ticking away.
40 seconds on the clock. Romanos, the handoff to Darius Moore right up the middle, and Joey Mars holds his ground and limits him to a gain of just 2 on the carry. First carry of the game for Moore, and the 3rd tackle on this drive for Joey Mars. 20 seconds on the quarter clock as El Reno looks to the sidelines for the signal. Braden Gerard and Cole Mitchell out left. Kobe Hull to the right at wide receiver. Romanos takes the snap, fakes it in the belly of Moore. Running left, makes a cut. Flag comes out, tackled again by Mars. And number 44, James McGuire. We'll see what the flag is. Right now, it's a gain of 3.
Again, I was telling you earlier, Joey Mars is an athlete. The 5'11", 195 senior can do it all. We've seen him on defense, and we've seen him on offense as the QB1. As this first quarter is wrapping up, as the refs are discussing what the flag is on. That's a good move by Romanos.
The flag, right, a hold against El Reno. Spot foul will move it back to the 29-yard line, and that is the end of the first quarter here in Piedmont with the Wildcats leading 7-0 over El Reno. We'll be back with the start of the second quarter here in just a moment here on Crossover Radio Sports, your home for sports from a different perspective. This is Piedmont Wildcat Football, brought to you by Rob's Ranch.
My left foot fell asleep.
Welcome back to Piedmont. Start of the second quarter with a long 2nd down and 16 play here for El Reno. The give is to Devereaux around the right side, trying to make a man miss. Cuts up the sideline. He's got space. Trips over the turf monster at the 44-yard line, but he stumbles out to the 46-yard line. That's a gain of 17 on the play for Mikey Devereaux. His first carry of the game.
Went past Decatur Warrior right there. That was a good run by Mikey. He had five carries, 31 yards, and a touchdown against Cash last week. And he looks good. He looks fast. Piedmont's got to stop him.
2 wide receivers right, 1 left. Romanos running left. Bounces it outside, cuts it back inside, and is met by Caden Hendren. That's a gain of 2 up to the 48-yard line.
Good tackle right there by Caden Hendren, who's their wide receiver as well as a defensive presence, defensive end. And it is 2nd down now.
2nd and we'll call it 8.
Yeah.
2 right, 1 left. Romanos looking right, flings it out there. That's Cole Mitchell with the catch along the sideline, dances down the sideline, is decked out of bounds.
Jacob Anglin again.
No flag on the far side. The big hit. Oh, and the official marked Mitchell out back at the 47-yard line. So just a gain of 5.
That's fortunate for Piedmont because I think we all thought that was going to be a first down play. That was a good hit by Anglin. Thankful that he wasn't called for targeting.
So 3rd and 3 from the 47-yard line. The give is to Moore. And he's in trouble in the backfield, but runs through a couple tackles. Gets down to the 41-yard line. There's a flag in the backfield, though. We'll see what that is. It stands as a 6-yard run and a first down for Moore. But we'll see what the flag is here. And it's going to be another hold on Piedmont, or on El Reno, rather.
Very fortunate.
And that'll send the Wildcats back. Remember, in Oklahoma, holding is a spot foul. For whatever reason, still haven't figured that one out. But it is a spot foul here in the great state of Oklahoma high school football. So they'll mark it all the way back to El Reno's own 40-yard line.
3rd and a bit.
So 3rd and 16 now for El Reno. 2 wide receivers right, 1 to the left. Romanos gets the snap, looking right, swings it out. That's Gerard, makes a man miss, and is taken down at the 48-yard line. That's Anglin over there with the tackle. And that will force a punt. 8 on the play. Excuse me, they're going to mark it at the 47-yard line, so gain of 7. First catch of the game for Gerard. And it'll be number 28, Xavier Oquendo, back to punt for El Reno. Decatur Warrior back deep to receive it. High punt, very short though. Lands at the 40-yard line of Piedmont and backtracks, and Devereaux finally falls on it at the 48-yard line.
Not a great look for the brand. As Pat McAfee would say, high punt, just got caught up in the wind and did not go very far for El Reno. That's great if you're Piedmont because you only have 52 yards to go as the ball is being spotted at the 48-yard line on the other side of the field. So, fantastic
So
stuff.
officially a 5-yard punt.
Yikes.
For Oquendo. So 1st and 10 for Piedmont. They come out with a 7-0 lead, 10:41 to go before halftime here at F&M Bank Stadium. 2 wide receivers right, Mars under center. The give is to Morrison up the middle and is taken down at the 49-yard line. Guzman, the last one off the pile there. Gain of 1.
Looked like he tripped up right there. Just had the ball and just fell. Snatched by the turf monster, like you said, a little bit ago.
So 2nd and 9 here for Piedmont. Just their 2nd offensive possession of the game. Jones, the man in motion. The give is to Morrison. Left side's got space. Cuts through the middle of the defense. Finally taken down at the 35-yard line. There is a flag in the backfield. We will see what that is about. It stands as a 21-yard carry.
Morrison's best run of the day.
But it is going to be coming back as the hold at the 48-yard line of Piedmont will mark them back to the 38. So it'll be 2nd and 20.
That was a big run for Piedmont. That is unfortunately being taken back because of a holding call. And we'll see what they do here. Triple option, not great when you are coming from behind or when you have big yardage ahead of you. It is a 2nd and 20.
From the 38-yard line of Piedmont, 2 wide receivers to the left this time. Moving left to right. Mars checks to the sideline after the fake run there by Copeland. Mars back under center. Fakes, pitches it out to Jones. Jones with space on the left side. Oh, and a nice tackle in space by Cade Mayo at the 45-yard line. Gain of 7 for Johnny Jones. But Cade Mayo with a big gain-saving tackle there, as Jones had a burst of speed and had some space if he was able to break that tackle.
Yeah, absolutely. He almost got tripped up there. Joey Mars did. It looked like he got tackled as soon as he pitched it. 3rd down and 13. We'll see what they do here.
3rd and 13 from the Piedmont 45-yard line. El Reno lineman, I believe that was Ryan Sigler, jumps, but did not enter the neutral zone as Piedmont checks to the sideline. And Piedmont will burn their first timeout of the half with 8:45 to go in the first half. We'll take timeout 2. This is Piedmont Wildcats football presented by Rob's Ranch. Welcome back to Piedmont. 3rd and 13 here for the Wildcats. 2 wide receivers right. Joey Mars under center. And now El Reno is going to burn a timeout. And Ian will keep it here. And a holding penalty setting the Wildcats back behind the chains. And it's the one disadvantage with this triple option offense. If you get behind the chains, things can go south in a hurry, and the drive can very quickly be stalled.
Yeah, absolutely. Without a lot of pass plays to run, and knowing that it's coming, it's difficult to come back from that. You just got to hope to get ahead, and that's why getting those 3-yard carries has been so efficient, and that's why that's worked. And that run by Morrison that got called back was a big blow to that offense.
Yeah, he went from 1st and 10 at the El Reno 30-yard line with all the momentum in the world to 2nd and 20 at your own 38-yard line. And here we are, 3rd and 13 at the Piedmont 45-yard line. Again, moving left to right, 8:45 to go, 2nd quarter, 7-0 Wildcats over El Reno. 2 wide receivers to the right. That's West and Herndon. Mars checking to the sideline. Indians show blitz. Now they back out of it. Mars back to pass is met in the backfield is Dakota Warrior. Mikey Devereaux with the big hit. Loss of 5 on the play back to the 40. And Devereaux just blew that play up.
They were prepared for that one. Decatur, nowhere to go on that play. Good on Mikey Devereaux. That was a hit. And now we have Bo Phelps punting.
Bo Phelps punting, and Cole Mitchell back deep to receive this for El Reno, standing inside his 25-yard line. Phelps shanks this one off the right side of his foot. It goes out of bounds. We'll see how long this one is.
Not been a great
and
game
the
for
official
punters.
marks it at the Piedmont 47-yard line. So officially a 7-yard punt there for Phelps. So not a good one there. And that'll set El Reno up in business on plus territory. So we have a punt for 5 yards for McQuindo, and we have a punt of 7 yards for Phelps. So Phelps is winning the punting battle thus far.
Yeah, the punt is absolutely important. You want to drive them back as far as you can. That was a disadvantage for El Reno.
Romanos takes the snap, puts it in the belly of Moore, going north-south, trying to get outside of Mars. He does, down the right sideline with a blocker, runs through a tackle, down the sidelines. Moore, can he get all the way? No, he cannot. Forced out of bounds, finally by Cameron West. But all the way down to the 4-yard line goes Darius Moore, a huge gain on first down of 43 yards.
He's a big back. Again, 6'1", 220. We saw what he could do on the defensive end, and he's proven that he is a two-way player.
So first and goal for the Indians. It's Devereaux, met at the line of scrimmage by Mars. No gain on the play.
That was a good tackle by Mars. Dove for the feet, tripped him up, fell on him. That was a good stop. Now you got to do that 2 more times, maybe 3. So they're at the 4-yard line.
Second and goal, Indians. Staying with 11 personnel out there. Hunt at tight end. Romanos fumbled the ball in the field, and Piedmont is on it. It looks like the Wildcats fell on it, and they do. Fumbled in the backfield by Romanos as he and Devereaux, a little bit of miscommunication on the exchange, and James McGuire comes out of there with the fumble recovery.
The junior 6'2", 265, saw the ball, fell on it. Like it was a chip that he lost from the bag. My goodness, what a clutch, what an unfortunate play for El Reno, but fantastic for Piedmont. They are backed up at the 4-yard line. My goodness, did they need that?
A absolutely brutal gun punch for the Indians. And now 1st and 10 for Piedmont at their own 7-yard line. Bo Phelps in at quarterback right now as Joey Mars gets a quick breather. The give is to Morrison along the right side, taken down by Dyer as he slings him forward to the 9-yard line.
Bo Phelps.
So gain of 3 on the play for Morrison.
Bo Phelps, QB2 and punter. He needs a little redemption right here. Hopefully they could get a touchdown this drive, because that's a momentum shift with that fumble. Excuse me.
Big opportunity here for El Reno as well to make a stop deep in Piedmont territory. Phelps gives to Morrison again up the middle, and he's taken down quickly. Cole Hunt in there on that tackle with a whole host of Indians. Morrison falls ahead to the 11-yard line, so we'll give him 2 on that one. First tackle of the game for Hunt. So we'll call it 3rd and 6, it looks like.
You got to get a first on this play. Considering Bo Phelps had a 7-yard punt, this drive kind of means everything if you want to get them out of the red zone. Oh, neutral infraction, 45 for
And
El Reno.
Aiden Dyer sprinting in on the blitz. Runs across the line of scrimmage. That's going to be a 5-yard penalty. And we'll see if that's going to be enough for the first down. Doesn't look like it will be quite enough.
It gives you a little breathing room.
So the ball spotted at the 15-yard line, where it will now be 3rd and 2. That's the 4th penalty of the first half for El Reno. So 3rd and 2 here for Piedmont from their own 15-yard line. Need to get to the 17. Phelps still in there. Morrison along the right side. He dives across the 20-yard line, and he has the first down. 6-yard gain for Morrison. And they will move the chains once again. 5:30 to go before halftime. 7-0 Piedmont. Wildcats with possession after a fumble inside the 10-yard line by quarterback Evan Romanos for El Reno. This after a 43-yard run by Darius Moore set El Reno up in business, but they were unable to cash in, and Piedmont looking to make them pay. Phelps pitches out to Jones. Smith in the backfield that time. That was number 14, Cade Mayo, who's had a couple nice tackles this evening. And it'll be a loss of 2 back to the 19-yard line.
Not only are you against the defense, you're against the clock right now. If you are Piedmont's offense, you have 4 minutes left. A little bit more than 4 minutes left in this game. You got to get a big run here if you want this drive to advance.
Phelps still in at quarterback. Everyone in tight, both wide receivers to the right. Phelps gives it up the middle. And a whole host of Indians there to meet the ball carrier. There, it's Brock Tatar. 2-yard gain. They give him 3 up to the 22-yard line. Tatar has the lone touchdown in this game, which has given Piedmont the 7-0 lead. 4 minutes to go here in the first half.
I'm very surprised they haven't gone with a lot of pitches yet. They've just been doing runs up the middle, and they've pitched it 1 or 2 times. It's probably some adjustments, and maybe we'll see more pitches as it goes on toward the season. But they don't look, the offense hasn't been super creative thus far.
3rd and 9. Phelps back to pass. Lobs it down the sideline. He's got Hendren wide open, and he hits him short of the 40-yard line. He can't go all the way home. Touchdown, Piedmont. 78 yards to Caden Hendren from Bo Phelps.
There's that creativity we were looking for with a 78-yard bomb to Caden Hendren.
And the first pass of the game for Piedmont results in a 78-yard touchdown to Caden Hendren. What a play, what a time for that call from offensive coordinator Aaron Dillard. And Piedmont looking to go up 2 scores with Talon Cope on to attempt the extra point. It's up and good, and Piedmont with a 14-0 lead. 3:32 to go before halftime. We'll take a quick break and be right back after this. This is Piedmont football presented by Rob's Ranch. That was Phelps. Welcome back to F&M Bank Stadium. Luke McConnell, Ian Nickel here with you for Piedmont Wildcat football. The Wildcats up 14-0 on El Reno. 3:32 to go here in the first half. And Ian, the long bomb, 78 yards to Caden Hendren from Bo Phelps, putting a charge into this crowd here on opening night.
When they throw it, it's deadly. And they proved it just now. They don't throw it often, but when they do, it's something to see. That's a statement made by Piedmont as they go up 2 touchdowns.
Preston Fancher sends a pooch kick down the near sideline. Darius Moore fields it at the 14-yard line. Patiently running, makes a cut up across the 30-yard line. Taken down there by number 20 for Piedmont, Mason Gonzalez, with the tackle on Moore. And that is where the Indians will take over 1st and 10. With 3:23 to go before halftime, looking to put anything together momentum-wise on offense. The only thing the Indians have done well on offense thus far is that Darius Moore 43-yard run.
Yeah, absolutely. And you wonder, as we saw right there with the fumble, are the nerves getting to Evan Roman nose? They might be. Let's see if he can redeem himself with his first case of adversity.
True sophomore. Coaches spoke highly of him pregame. 2 wide receivers left, 1 to the right. Mitchell, the man in motion. Romanos following him around the right side, trying to pick his way across the 35-yard line and gets down to the 38-yard line is where they're going to mark him. So a gain of 5 on first down for Romanos.
Credit to El Reno's offensive line. They know how to push, and it was going to be a battle in the trenches when we started. You have your smallest guy being 250 pounds weight-wise, height-wise 5'10". It's a big line.
Give us to Devereaux this time, running around the left side, spins away, and there's a fumble on the play, and the officials have not blown it dead, and they give it to Piedmont.
Piedmont winning the turnover battle.
Number 16, Brock Tatar, was in on the tackle, forced the fumble, and another turnover for El Reno, and Piedmont, with 2:41 to play, has the ball in business at the El Reno 45-yard line.
They came to play. 2 turnovers already, as well as 2 touchdowns. With a short field and 2:41 left, they're driving the dagger into El Reno's heart.
So Tatar with the forced fumble there. Mars back out there with the offense. 1 wide receiver to the left. Heavy formation left. Mars running that way, is met in the backfield, runs through a couple tackles, gets down to the 40-yard line before Devereaux brings him down. A strong run there from Joey Mars. Pickup of 5 on the play. That's Mars' first carry of the game.
An impressive 5 yards. He could have lost 1. He kept on pushing and rumbling and stumbling and bumbling, and he got halfway home with the ball at the 40-yard line with just 2 minutes left. Reminder, Piedmont has 2 timeouts.
1 wide receiver to the right for Piedmont here. Morrison, the back behind Mars. Mars running right, is hit in the backfield, taken down by number 52 for El Reno. Caleb Holbutta with the tackle, but he was met in the backfield initially by, I believe it was Cade Mayo, who came in strong.
They saw it coming that time. They absolutely saw it coming that time.
Just a gain of 1 for Mars there.
You're in third down territory where you have a short field. You're at the 39-yard line. You have less than 90 seconds left. If they don't get the 4th down here, I wouldn't be surprised if they called a timeout.
1:20 to go in the half. 3rd and 4 from the 39-yard line of El Reno. Mars gives it to Morrison, and he's going to be met after a gain of 1. That's Guzman and Sigler on the tackle from the middle. And Guzman has been busy. First tackle of the game for Sigler. It'll be 4th down and 3 from the 38-yard line. We're under a minute to go. Piedmont in no hurry whatsoever here.
Well, they know they have control of the game. You don't want to make a costly mistake and make this a 1-possession game, so you're going to chew up as much clock as you can. So that way El Reno doesn't get the ball. And also, you deferred, so you get the ball in the second half. Piedmont is in control right
Jeff
now.
Hall standing beside the side judge there, calling a timeout here with 29 seconds to go. And Ian, like you said, Piedmont with a big opportunity here, 4th and 3 at the 38-yard line of El Reno, leading by 2 scores. And again, like you said, getting the ball to start the second half. You couldn't ask for a better half for Piedmont. The offense had the 1 long drive and the 1 long touchdown. Overall, positive in the first game of the season, bringing back with, essentially a new quarterback, all new running backs. Veteran offensive line has helped considerably, but overall goods from the offense and a couple turnovers forced by the defense have limited El Reno to pretty much nothing offensively besides the Darius Moore run.
This team is motivated. They want to prove that last year wasn't a fluke. They wanted to prove tonight that them going and winning 10 wins wasn't a fluke. They want to prove that it's the standard. And they're coming out guns a-blazing.
So offense still out there for Piedmont here on 4th and 3. 29 seconds to go before halftime. 1 timeout remaining for Piedmont. Wide receiver either side. Mars fakes the give, pitches it out. That's Anglin trying to get to the outside and loses yardage as Darius Moore with a 3-yard loss. Very nice tackle there by Moore on the outside. That's Anglin's first carry of the game, 6th tackle of the game for Darius Moore. So El Reno, with 23.5 seconds to go before halftime, will get the ball 1st and 10 at their own 41-yard line. And El Reno's they spread it out. They've got some weapons on the outside. We'll see if Evan Romanos is going to air it out here with just a short bit before halftime. 2 timeouts for El Reno here as they come out with 3 wide receivers and Mikey Devereaux in the backfield with Evan Romanos.
It's a good matchup in the battle of the trenches for sure. Let's see if Piedmont can prevail.
Romanos takes the snap, gives to Devereaux, running around the right side, trying to outrace Joey Mars, and Mars brings him down at the 40-yard line. There is a flag on the play.
That was a good tackle by Joey Mars. And also, Devereaux was the guy, well, Moore was the guy that got you that big run earlier in the game. The rushing attack has been working somewhat for El Reno.
We'll see what it is. It's a personal foul face mask penalty against Piedmont. So that'll be a 15-yard penalty from the 41-yard line. So that'll mark it down at the Piedmont 44-yard line. 17.2 seconds to go before halftime.
Well, that's big. That's big. That's 15 less yards you have to worry about. That's a little less pressure on Evan Romanos.
The Indians come out, spread it out. 3 wide receivers left. The tight end Colton Hunt to the right side. Hunt 500 yards receiving a season ago. Romanos takes the snap and a whistle stop play. Didn't look like a flag was thrown. Not sure what the issue is here. The line judge on the far side of the field talking to the referee. Referee conferring with his crew by Mike.
Ball not set?
I think the clock started before the snap. They're asking the clock to be reset to 17 seconds.
That gives them more time too.
So we're getting the clock reset to 17 seconds up here in the booth.
Ref is patiently waiting. Again, coming up at halftime is the Piedmont Wildcat Band. If you have Squirtle TV and you are paying for this this stream, you will see the Piedmont Band in action. If you're listening on Crossover Radio Sports, you can just hear it.
Romanos with the snap, rolling left, avoids Mars, throws it to the sideline. There's Mitchell. Catches it. He goes out of bounds at the 38-yard line. Clock stops with 10.5 seconds to go.
Wow, I thought
Gain
he
of
was aiming
6.
for the wrong guy.
And the official on the near side was waving his arms, but El Reno took a timeout on the far side. Not sure if they needed to. Couldn't tell from our spot right here, a little bit shaded by the Piedmont sideline. Couldn't tell if he fell down inbounds or if he got out of bounds, but the fact that El Reno burned the timeout quickly tells me he did not. It's a 6-yard gain on that completion from Romanos to Mitchell, who has been his favorite target this evening, with 3 of those 5 receptions for 15 yards. So it'll be 2nd and 4 from the 38-yard line. 10.5 seconds to go. El Reno with 1 timeout remaining. Might just see a Hail Mary of sorts to certainly look for Colton Hunt, who stands 6'4", 225, down here on the near side of the formation. 3 wide receivers to the right. Devereaux in the backfield. Romanos under pressure. He's going to go deep. Hunt is down the sideline, and it's going to be intercepted. Warrior with the interception down at the 3-yard line, and Hunt is absolutely the guy they went for, and it turned out poorly for El Reno, their third turnover of the first half, the first interception of the season for Decatur Warrior.
And you called it. They were going for Hunt. And Decatur Warrior was right there coming off the back end.
Read the play perfectly from that free safety position, that bandit position that Piedmont calls it. And so Piedmont taking over at their own 3-yard line with 3.5 seconds to go before halftime. Probably will just see a kneel here and get to the locker room.
Marcus Warrior is here, pumped up as ever. See his brother get an INT to close out the second quarter.
Now Reno's going to take a timeout. They only had 10 men on the field. And unfortunately, Angel Guzman, the one who is getting an earful over there from Weston McGill. I believe that's Weston McGill, the defensive coordinator, who's the acting head coach tonight again. El Reno head coach Chuck Atchison not here this evening. He had surgery earlier this week and is home recovering. We wish him well and wish him a speedy recovery. And hope to see him back on the sidelines later this season and maybe in the playoffs. Why not? We can do it again in the playoffs. Again.
I think Piedmont would like nothing more than that. Another game against El Reno. Again, cross-county rivals. They want nothing more than go at this team again.
So Piedmont back on the field. Everybody back on the field. Mars under center. And he's going to give it right up the middle to Tatar. That'll be a 2-yard gain, and that will take us to halftime. The first half comes to a close with your Piedmont Wildcats leading El Reno 14-0. We will take a break, an extended break. When we come back, we will have the pride of Piedmont on the field performing at halftime, and we'll come back after that with first half stats and analysis and get you ready for the second half of action. This is Piedmont Wildcat Football presented by Rob's Ranch.
Support your school's booster club and get your business in front of thousands of potential customers.
Talk about a win-win.
Advertising packages start on this streaming station for less than $10 a game. Call 405-726-0835 or email adam@squirtle.com right now for more information.
The pros with Squirtle Live. Find out more at squirtle.com/stream.
Score that perfect design at Touchdown Graphics just north of the curve in Pond Creek. They offer screen printing and embroidery on t-shirts, shorts, hoodies, and more. Show your spirit for your school, team, club, or special event with a custom design from Touchdown Graphics. Call 580-532-4579 or see them online at touchdowngraphics.com. Touchdown Graphics. It's good.
At Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, we've helped a lot of people, and our goal was to treat each and every person like a friend. And as a friend, we've got your back always. We understand what you're going through. Being lawyers is what we do, but it's not all that we are. We care. We'll stand beside you throughout the entire legal process, not just as lawyers, but as your friends. We are Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, and we are here to help.
Dr. Matt Dieselhorst at Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics can help you get game day ready. Dr. Dieselhorst works with athletes of all ages, taking a coordinated approach to accelerate return to play and maximize athletic performance. His work with pros in sports training, injury prevention, bracing, functional rehabilitation, and imaging works seamlessly with his medical and surgical expertise. Get started by going to Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics. Let Dr. Matt Dieselhorst get you back on the field, backing all Oklahoma athletes on the field and off.
When it comes to cellular service, why pay for data you don't use? Pioneer Cellular offers a variety of plans designed to give you the lowest prices on the data you and the others on your plan really need. That's why people all over are switching to Pioneer. Pioneer Cellular can save you money on your family plan, no matter how you define family. Do the math. Visit our website at gopioneer.com, call us at 800-641-2732, or stop by a local Pioneer store. Find out how much we can save you.
Great Plains Land Company came together out of a desire to return to what a land company should be, a client-centered organization as passionate about the land as you are. Land is not something we deal with from 8 to 5. Land is truly our passion. Whether you are looking for your dream property or listing a property, you need an experienced land specialist working for you. We invite you to call our Great Plains Land team today at 405-761-4808.
Allegiant Marketing Group produces inbound lead generation for our clients through integrated traditional and digital campaigns. We continuously develop new strategies, tactics, and productive efficiencies so you can reach your target market and get a measurable return on investment. This fast-paced world demands for your products and services to be presented at the moment your buyers need them. Targeted and innovative marketing creates your success. Call AMG today, your marketing partner.
Support your school's booster club and get your business in front of thousands of potential customers.
Talk about a win-win.
Advertising packages start on this streaming station for less than $10 a game. Call 405-726-0835 or email adam@squirtle.com right now for more information.
Stream like the pros with Squirtle Live. Find out more at squirtle.com/stream.
Score that perfect design at Touchdown Graphics just north of the curve in Pond Creek. They offer screen printing and embroidery on t-shirts, shorts, hoodies, and more. Show your spirit for your school, team, club, or special event with a custom design from Touchdown Graphics. Call 580-532-4579 or see them online at touchdowngraphics.com. Touchdown Graphics. It's good.
At Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, we've helped a lot of people, and our goal was to treat each and every person like a friend. And as a friend, we've got your back, always. We understand what you're going through. Being lawyers is what we do, but it's not all that we are. We care. We'll stand beside you throughout the entire legal process, not just as lawyers, but as your friends. We are Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, and we are here to help.
Dr. Matt Dieselhorst at Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics can help you get game day ready. Dr. Dieselhorst works with athletes of all ages, taking a coordinated approach to accelerate return to play and maximize athletic performance. His work with pros in sports training, injury prevention, bracing, functional rehabilitation, and imaging works seamlessly with his medical and surgical expertise. Get started by going to Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics. Let Dr. Matt Dieselhorst get you back on the field, backing all Oklahoma athletes on the field and off.
When it comes to cellular service, why pay for data you don't use? Pioneer Cellular offers a variety of plans designed to give you the lowest prices on the data you and the others on your plan really need. That's why people all over are switching to Pioneer. Pioneer Cellular can save you money on your family plan, no matter how you define family. Do the math. Visit our website at gopioneer.com, call us at 800-641-2732, or stop by a local Pioneer store. Find out how much we can save you.
Great Plains Land Company came together out of a desire to return to what a land company should be, a client-centered organization as passionate about the land as you are. Land is not something we deal with from 8 to 5. Land is truly our passion. Whether you are looking for your dream property or listing a property, you need an experienced land specialist working for you. We invite you to call our Great Plains Land team today at 405-761-4808.
Allegiant Marketing Group produces inbound lead generation for our clients through integrated traditional and digital campaigns. We continuously develop new strategies, tactics, and productive efficiencies so you can reach your target market and get a measurable return on investment. This fast-paced world demands for your products and services to be presented at the moment your buyers need them. Targeted and innovative marketing creates your success. Call AMG today, your marketing partner.
Support your school's booster club and get your business in front of thousands of potential customers.
Talk about a win-win.
Advertising packages start on this streaming station for less than $10 a game. Call 405-726-0835 or email adam@squirtle.com right now for more information.
Welcome back to F&M Bank Stadium here in Piedmont, Oklahoma. The Wildcats leading El Reno at the break 14-0. A fantastic first half, particularly for the Wildcats defense, forcing 3 turnovers and holding El Reno to less than 100 yards of offense there in the first half. Going over the first half stats individually for Piedmont, quarterback Joey Mars, 2 carries for 6 yards. Jacob Anglin, 1 carry for -3 yards. 3 carries, 11 yards for Johnny Jones. Wesley Morrison, the workhorse in the first half for Piedmont, 11 carries, 48 yards. Decatur Warrior, 1 carry, -5 yards. Jacob Copeland, 1 carry for 9 yards. And Brock Tatar, 6 carries, 30 yards, and a touchdown on the ground for Piedmont. Through the air, just a single pass for Piedmont, but it was a big one. Bo Phelps going up top, 78 yards to Caden Hendren for the big touchdown to put Piedmont up by 2 scores late in the second quarter. Defensively for Piedmont, 2 tackles for Cameron Rust, a fumble recovery for Joey McGuire, or James McGuire, excuse me. 4 tackles for Joey Mars, 2 for Caden Hendren, including a tackle for loss. Decatur Warrior with the interception at the end of the half. Jacob Anglin with 3 tackles. Brock Tatar had a forced fumble in that first half as well. And that about rounds it out. A couple tackles individually for Waits Cox and here are my notes here. Ramirez and Gonzalez each with a tackle for Piedmont in that first half. For El Reno offensively, sophomore quarterback Evan Romanos pressed into action this evening due to the injury to Dorian Plumley. A big loss for El Reno, and it has shown in the effectiveness of the El Reno offense. Just 6 carries, 9 yards for Romanos. He's 5 for 7 through the air, just 19 yards, and that interception at the end of the first half. Darius Moore, just 2 carries in the first half, 45 yards. He had a 43-yard run in the second quarter that put El Reno at 1st and goal at the 4-yard line. But El Reno with the fumble 2 plays later allowed Piedmont to get possession back and get back in business. And that led to the 78-yard touchdown for Hendren. So Moore, 2 carries, 45 yards, 3 carries, 24 yards for Mikey Devereaux. Receiving for El Reno, Braden Gerard, 1 catch for 7 yards, and 3 catches for 15 yards for Cole Mitchell. And Kobe Knoll with the final reception but it was for a loss of 3 yards on El Reno's opening possession. 6 tackles for Darius Moore in the first half, 2.5 for Aiden Dyer, 3, including a tackle for loss for Mikey Devereaux, 3.5 from the middle by Angel Guzman, the sophomore, 2 for Cade Mayo. One of them might have saved a touchdown, and a tackle each for Ryan Sigler, Colton Hunt, and Luke Claiborne there in the first half, along with Caleb Holbutta. So that is the stat portion here in the first half. Do a quick check of scores from around the state. And as you can view our stream here on Squirtle.tv, as well as through Crossover Radio Sports is where the audio is. We're grateful for our partnership with Piedmont High School this year and excited to be the flagship station for the Wildcats all season long. We'll be on the road next week at Putnam City North, our first time in the new Putnam City North Stadium. Should be a great time there. Look forward to being there and bringing you Wildcat football home and away all season long. So looking around the state, we'll start in 5A. Sapulpa up 40-0 over Edison at halftime. Pryor 31-10 over Catoosa at halftime. Lawton over Duncan at the half, 24-6. Bartlesville over Claremore 13-3. That's at halftime. Clinton over Woodward 7-0 at halftime. Sand Springs over Bishop Kelly 17-7. That last score is in the second quarter. And Noble over Blanchard 7-0 in the first quarter. Midwest City leading Carl Albert 20-14. Cash all over Altus 43-0. Eisenhower 34, MacArthur 28. High scoring affair down in Lawton this evening. Tahlequah 14, McLean 2. Skytook 24, Glenpool 0. Most of these are halftime scores. Hilldale 28, Will Rogers 0. Collinsville 14-10 over Oolaga. Mount St. Mary's 31-0 over Capitol Hill. Ardmore 14, Ada 0. Durant 28-7 over Medill. Guthrie leading Putnam City West 14-6. Wagner 14, Coweta 0. East Central 27, Nathan Hale 6. Tulsa Central 12, Tulsa Memorial 0. And that rounds out the scores on the 5A side as both teams back out on the field and getting loose for the second half of action. And just a quick glance at other scores around the area. Jinx and Bixby tied at 21 apiece, and that's in the second quarter. Broken Arrow 14, Union 7, Ponca City 17, Enid 13. Putnam City North up 17-6 over Putnam City. Stillwater 29, Edmond Santa Fe 12. Deer Creek took out Southmore yesterday 30-24.
I'll ask you this, were you surprised by that? By Deer Creek winning? I kinda was.
Hard to tell. It really is hard to tell. I'll be completely honest in that I wasn't quite sure what either of those teams were bringing in this year, but definitely maybe a little bit surprised. Maybe just slightly.
Let's say it's about Southmore. Southmore, they got a heck of a kicker, Cameron Little, Arkansas commit. Really good at what he does, which is kicking the ball.
That's a wrap up on the 5A scoreboard across the state.
How are our friends at Crossover Radio doing with the Bethany Bronco game?
Bethany trailing John Marshall second quarter 13-7. Last update. And Ian, we got about 2.5 minutes to go before the start of the second half here in Piedmont. Your impressions of the first half with the Wildcats on both sides of the ball?
I gotta tell you, I mean, the offense, it comes and goes. But the defense has been playing really, really well. I've been they're always really solid on defense. They have been when they've been like 3-7 and in the very like 2016 on. But they've always had a very solid defense. I wonder, though, how much of the pressure of starting this game in this atmosphere where everyone does have masks on, but it's a big crowd, how much of that pressure is getting to Ethan Roman nose. That's one of the things I'm going to be looking for in the second half. Piedmont is just playing, they're playing a great game right now. Would you like to see the offense do better? Yes. But they're playing really well right now. And they want to prove that last year was not a fluke, and that they cannot compete, that this El Reno team cannot compete with them. And it's been a heck of a showing for Piedmont, and they have a big game next week, non-conference against Putnam City North, who's going down from 6A1 to 6A2, but nevertheless, very solid team. It's going to be a big adjustment for them.
Time to start the second half. I want to thank our sponsor, Southern Nazarene University, who's proud to bring Wildcat football to you here on Squirtle. Grateful for our partnership with Southern Nazarene, one of our fantastic sponsors here at Piedmont High School. Number 22 for El Reno, Edgar Garcia, set to kick this one away for the Indians. Johnny Jones and Caden Hendren back deep to receive for the Wildcats. Hendren, of course, returned a punt 78 yards earlier in the game. 72 yards, I believe it was. But was called back due to a block in the back. We'll see what he's able to do on this kickoff return as we are set to go. Again, Luke McConnell, Ian Nickel here with you for Crossover Radio Sports. Thank you so much for joining us. We will be here all season long and looking forward to bringing you Piedmont Wildcat football and looking forward to hopefully a very long season for Piedmont in a good way.
Absolutely.
Garcia sends this one away, heading towards Jones, and he fields it at the 6. Working his way up the near sideline, breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle, spins away. He's at the 40, cuts back inside at the 45, and he's finally brought down by Braden Gerard and number 84 for El Reno, Nick Simpson. So Simpson and Gerard combined to bring Jones down, but not before a return of 44 yards up to midfield.
And I told you earlier in the telecast that Piedmont was very sneaky on special teams, and they can get plays whenever they need to on that side of the ball. Now Reno is trying to fire themselves up.
Strong contingent from the El Reno faithful making the trek up Highway 4.
And now we are going
or 81. Depends on which way you came.
Absolutely.
If you came up 81 and over, or you came over and then up 4.
Plenty of ways to Piedmont.
Piedmont hustles to the line with just 3 on the play clock. Mars, deep pitch out to Hendrick. Fumble in the backfield. Picked up by the defense. That's Xavier Devereaux, a brother of Mikey, and he takes it down to the 32-yard line. Disaster on the first play of the second half for Piedmont. Big loss for Hendren on the carry.
This is what cost them last year against this team in September, was the turnovers. And that was a good hit by Devereaux. And the recovery by number 4, I believe for El Reno, number 4, Xavier Devereaux. So it was a Devereaux combo with him with the tackle.
So first turnover of the game for Piedmont. El Reno in business. First and 10 of the 32. The give is to Moore. Running right. He's got space. Can he outrace the defense to the corner? He does. Runs over a man at the 20-yard line. That's number 5, Brooks Whiteman with the tackle. But not before a gain. Big gain of 12 down to the 20-yard line.
Wow.
El Reno quickly to the line of scrimmage. Two wide receivers left, one to the right. Hunt, the tight end, on the right side of the line. Romanos takes the snap, follows his blocker Devereaux, bounces it to the outside, and it does not get anywhere as Joey Mars takes him down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. Nice tackle there by Mars, his 5th of the game.
Mars is going to be everywhere on all sides of the ball, and we're seeing it again with his 5th tackle. Like you said, again, another Piedmont's got to get a big stop here because they don't want that momentum.
Second and 10.
Favor.
Two wide receivers left, one to the right. Looked like a false start. The flag is down. Romanos running right, gets past the 15-yard line. Mars and Hendren in on the tackle, but I believe we're going to get a false start on number 17, Kobe Knoll. Not sure why they didn't blow the play dead there. So we'll see what the flag is actually for. But Knoll definitely started early, but the fact that the official did not blow the play dead leads me to believe it might be something else. And it is going to be a false start penalty on Knoll. So wipe out the 7-yard gain, 8-yard gain for Romanos, and march it back 5 yards to the 25-yard line where it will be 2nd and 15. That's the 5th penalty of the game for El Reno for 35 yards.
We talk about the triple option being sloppy. It's not great in the first couple of halves and first couple of games. Excuse me. But when it gets cooking, it gets cooking. And I want to see what the offense can do to come back from that after this drive.
Romanos takes a snap, puts it in the belly of Devereaux, who is swarmed in the backfield. Mars and McGuire in the backfield there for a big tackle for loss. Back to the 30-yard line, another loss of 5. It'll be 3rd and 20 for El Reno, and now they're just going backwards.
Those have been your 2 big players on defense. James McGuire with a fumble recovery earlier in the game, and then Joey Mars, who has just been all over the field. Good stuff. 3rd down.
Romanos back to pass, over the middle, finds his tight end, Colton Hunt. And he's wrestled down at the 15-yard line, got down to the 13-yard line. Officials marked him down at the 16 with forward progress. A whole host of Wildcats on the tackle. Warrior was in there, West and Hendren, of course, all in on that tackle. So it'll be 4th down and 6. Pickup of 14 for Hunt, his first reception of the game.
Big 4th down play right here. And Colton Hunt is a big dude, 6'4", 225 pounds. Had only 1 reception worth 9 yards in the last game against Cash. Big play right here.
Mitchell comes in motion. Romanos running right. He's got blockers in front. Can he get outside? He cannot! Joey Mars coming up and clipping him. Hendren finished the job. And a beautiful defensive play by Joey Mars, getting in the backfield and stopping Romanos for a no gain on the play. Turnover on downs.
Just what the doctor ordered. Fantastic play by Joey Mars. Piedmont has done a really good job at containing Romanos on quarterback runs. And we saw on that play, they know how to contain him. He's not as quick as Plumlee. And they know that.
So the offense back out there for Piedmont. Phelps out there at quarterback. They give us to Morrison, bouncing up the middle, rolling off his own man, Copeland. And he gets up to the 21-yard line. That's a 5-yard pickup for Wesley Morrison.
Good run right there. And now, if you're Piedmont, you are up 2-0. Or not 2-0, but 2 touchdowns. Right? 14-0. How much clock do you chew on this drive? Probably determines how the rest of the game goes.
14-0 Piedmont, 8:34 to go, 3rd quarter. 2nd and 4. Morrison moving those legs, gets up to the 25-yard line where he will be stopped there. That's a 4-yard pickup for Morrison. It'll be 3rd down and 1. Morrison keeping those legs churning.
He can churn the legs really well. He can compete with the best of them. And, he keeps the feet moving. He doesn't stop. He just goes.
So 3rd down and 1 for Piedmont. Bo Phelps in at quarterback right now. Joey Mars taking a breather. A well-deserved one at that after a strong defensive series. Wide receiver either side. Phelps gives it to Morrison, running left. He's got some space, and he's finally wrestled down across the 40-yard line. Mitchell and Gerard in on the tackle. Up to the 41-yard line. It's a gain of 11 for Wesley Morrison. Got all 20 yards on this drive thus far, and they'll move the chains.
What we're going to see here in the third and fourth quarter is how tired will the El Reno defense be.
If you're El Reno, you'd hope not too much, given it's really the first defensive drive after halftime after the fumble. Receiver either side. Two-back set in the backfield. Morrison right up the middle, hurdles a man and gets out to the 48-yard line of El Reno, crossing midfield. That is another 11-yard pickup for Wesley Morrison. Back-to-back 11-yard runs, and we're starting to see Morrison flex those muscles as he'll take a deserved break on the sideline. Brock Deter into the game.
He is elusive. He just bulldozes through, and you'd be surprised he's 190 pounds. You don't see a lot of bulldozing from people 190 pounds.
Two backs, Tatar and Jones stacked. Tatar met at the line of scrimmage. Colton Hunt wrestles him to the ground. Fortunate to get back to the line of scrimmage is Tatar, as Colton Hunt met him in the hole with authority.
They saw that play coming from a mile away. Not a good look for that offense. Again, we haven't seen a lot of pitches. And that's a big part of the triple option. Again, that's what cost him the fumble last time, was the pitch. So
just four by my count here. Maybe five. But a receiver either side here. Tatar is the back. Jones the man in motion. They give it to Tatar. He is cracked down hard by Aiden Dyer. Looked like he kind of Tatar got tripped up by his own man, Copeland, who was laying on the ground there. Gain of 1 for Tatar.
Yeah, that did not look super great. It looked like there was a helmet-to-helmet collision. And now you're at 39.
Definitely sounded like it, that's for sure.
Sounded not so great.
That one of those bang-bang plays where suddenly the ball carrier is a little bit lower than you initially thought he was. I think a good no call by the officials there. So 3rd down and 9 for Piedmont. 47-yard line of El Reno. Tatar. No, it's Phelps. He keeps it. Fumble on the play on the pitch. And Darius Moore picks it up. Makes a man miss, and he's going to take it to the house. A touchdown for Darius Moore on a fumble recovery. A fumbled pitch. Phelps comes up limping. I believe it was number 22, Jacob Anglin, with the fumble on the pitch. Moore picked it up and scrambled 40-some-odd yards for the first El Reno touchdown of the game with 5:45 to go.
Wow. And we can see why they don't do those pitches that we've mentioned, because there is a risk for a fumble. I hope Bo Phelps is okay. I hope it's just a cramp. He was able to hobble his way back. But man, that is tough for Piedmont right there. You don't like to see that at all. Here's the kick.
Oquindo on to attempt the extra point. Sends it up and good. Excuse me, that was not Oquindo. That was Edgar Garcia. It's up and good. So with 5:46 to play, it's a one-score game again. We'll take timeout. 3rd quarter, 5:46 to play. It's Piedmont 14, El Reno 7. We'll be right back after this. This is Piedmont football presented by Rob's Ranch.
These teams, this Piedmont El Reno rivalry, they're neck and neck. Yeah, Darius.
40, 45-ish, something like that. Welcome back to F&M Bank Stadium. Luke McConnell, Ian Nickel here with you. 14-7, Piedmont leads. El Reno slicing the lead in half on the 45-yard Darius Moore fumble recovery for a touchdown. And El Reno right back in this one. It has not been a great start to the second half for Piedmont. 2 fumbles.
Yeah, it's not a great look.
Garcia sends this one away. It's going to be Anglin. Running right on the far side. He's got lots of space. Just the kicker to beat. Oh, and the kicker lit him up, but he's kept running all the way to the 47-yard line. Multiple El Reno players on the ground. Collisions everywhere on that kickoff return.
He threw a
number 13.
smackdown move.
Juno Kleine-Cole is down on the field. Number 8, Chris Clements, was also down. But Edgar Garcia, the kicker, he was the only man back. And he threw a massive shoulder into Anglin. Credit to Anglin for keeping his feet and taking it all the way up to the 48-yard line. The El Reno players still down on the field, and we will step aside for just a moment. Welcome back to F&M Bank Stadium. Juno Kleine-Cole, junior for El Reno, the injured player, walking off under his own power. Great to see. A lot of collisions on that kick return both ways. But it seems everyone is okay. Apparently, there was a flag on the play. Did not see the flag in all the injury confusion. But Piedmont has the ball 1st and 10 at their own 10. Again, not sure where the flag came into play there. Did not see it. Did not see an indication from the official. But Piedmont ball 1st and 10. Joey Mars back out there at quarterback for the Wildcats. Wide receiver either side, West to the left, and Riggs to the right. Mars puts it in the back of McGuire, who's in there at fullback, and he carries the pile up to the 13-yard line, give him the 14-yard line, depending on which line judge the umpire looks at. He looks at the far side, so give him 3. James McGuire getting in on the carry action this evening.
You saw him in that scrimmage deliver a devastating hit that we've alluded to a Millwood defender in their scrimmage last Thursday. It's nice to see him get a little bit of action. And I wonder about Bo Phelps. How injured is he? Because he came up limping as well.
He's down there on the sideline beside Anglin. Looks like he's trying to stretch things out. The give is to McGuire again up the middle. Hit hard in the hole by Aiden Dyer. Dyer has been everywhere here in this game.
Yeah, he's been phenomenal as well. The senior stepping up in their second game of the year. El Reno's second game of the year.
6.5 tackles last week versus Cash. 50 tackles a season ago for Dyer. And McGuire will take a break after 2 gains of 3, make it 3rd and 4 from the 16-yard line. And
McGuire's definitely
Piedmont,
a power back.
Piedmont, yes, indeed. Piedmont needing to get this conversion here to keep the drive alive, keep the El Reno offense off the field. 4:08 to go, 3rd quarter, 14-7 Wildcats. Mars gives to Morrison. Excuse me, that's going to be Copeland on the carry, it looks like. He only gained 1 yard to the 17, and that's going to bring out the punt team.
Bo Phelps is back out there as well. He had a 7-yard punt last time. Had an injured leg. I don't know if that's his punting leg or not, but we'll see how.
He's still trying to stretch things out there, so we'll see. Cole Mitchell back deep to receive inside his own 45-yard line.
Here we go.
Play clock down to 5. Phelps sends this one away. Just got it off, but it's a beautiful punt.
They will call roughing the
Mitchell
punter.
fields it at the 44, makes a cut inside. He's cut down at the 40-yard line of Piedmont, so a pickup of 16 on the return. We do have a flag back.
Bo Phelps got
Phelps
collided
still
with
limping after being hit on the punt attempt, and they are going to call running into the kicker. So it will be the 5-yard variety.
Will that make it a first down?
And that should be an automatic first down, given it was 4th and 4. So that should be enough for the first down. A big mistake for the Indians.
Absolutely. They would have the ball to 40. That's where he returned it to.
So that'll be the 6th penalty for 40 yards for El Reno this evening.
How many has Piedmont got?
Piedmont 3 for 35. 2 holds and then the personal foul. And then this would be, actually the previous one would be number 4. Not sure on the yardage since we never saw a flag or an indication of where that was marked off from.
If I were to guess, I think that was a 10-yard penalty.
But it's enough for the first down. And a big mistake for El Reno, which would have had 1st and 10 in Piedmont territory. Instead, the Wildcats keep the football with 3:11 to go in the 3rd quarter.
McGuire's back in. Expect a run from him.
Piedmont trying to batter this El Reno defense into submission. Mars back to pass. Instead, floats it down the near sideline. Hendren, he's out there, incomplete. Great defense there by Braden Gerard, who did not even look for the football on the play. But a little bit too much air under it, left it a little short for Hendren, and that allowed Gerard to come over from his free safety position and make a nice play.
That was good coverage by number 10, Gerard, right there. Kept it close. That was a toss-up pass. That could have gone either way, but it was an incomplete pass. Excuse me. 2nd and 10 now.
Just the first pass of the game for Mars, and just the 2nd pass of the game, period, for Piedmont.
They were looking for that same play that got him the touchdown earlier. Phelps to Hendren, but they were trying to do it with Mars.
Mars with the pitch. Johnny Jones with it. Crosses the 25-yard line where he is taken down by Mayo, who's a little slow to get up himself. It's a gain of 6 up to the 27-yard line.
If you're Piedmont, this is where you want to be. You want to be in that 3rd and 4, 3rd and 3 range, because you know that you can get probably about 3 yards with just a handoff.
2-back set here. Morrison is the up back. Mars with the keeper trying to run around right side. Somehow squeaked through the line and gets the first down. What a run from Joey Mars. 6 yards on the carry. Dyer with the tackle, but not before. Mars was dead to rights there by Xavier Devereaux, but managed to spin away from the tackle, pick up 6 yards, and a first down for Piedmont with 2:18 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Thought that play was dead in the water for sure, Luke. Fantastic play by Joey Mars, spinning around like a Beyblade, going in for the first down.
So 1st and 10 Piedmont, moving right to left. The pitch out. It's Anglin with it. Nice block on the outside. Cuts it back inside. A flag is down, but Anglin down the far sideline. Cuts it back inside. He's going to take it to the house. All the way home is Jacob Anglin, 67 yards. There is a flag back at the 31-yard line. We'll see what it's all about. This might be coming back.
That's what I was afraid of.
And it is a hold on Piedmont. Coach Jeff Hall can't believe it. So wipe out a 67-yard touchdown run for Jacob Anglin.
That was such a good run, too.
Decatur Warrior not pleased out there with the call, as it looks like he might have been the guilty party.
All still arguing with the ref now. That was a great run by Anglin, going to the left side, spinning, sliding, not colliding with any El Reno Indians on that play.
So mark it back 10 yards to the 21-yard line.
Dang.
Where it will be 1st and 13 now. Excuse me, 1st and 12. Again, those spot fouls doesn't make any sense. Does not make any sense.
They have it 1st and 20.
Pitch out. Warrior on the outside, trying to shake free, unable to do so. Chris Clements and Gerard in there on the tackle. Gain of 1 up to the 22-yard line.
Yeah, the first time we've heard Decatur Warrior get the ball, it was really good on the defensive end with that interception at the end of the second quarter. But not looking great for this Piedmont offense as the clock ticks down to the final quarter. Hear the crowd chanting Piedmont Wildcats.
So it will be 2nd and 19 here. Mars bottled up. Morrison held on to it, thank goodness, because it looked like there might have been a bobbled exchange. He lost 2 back to the 21-yard line. With 48 seconds to go in the third quarter, El Reno called a timeout to keep the ball on this end of the field as the first negative carry of the game for Morrison.
Wow.
But the El Reno defense bowing their backs here in the second half.
I don't think they called timeout. They didn't call timeout.
That's interesting because the officials waved it dead. Not sure why they stopped the clock. The clock is running under 30 seconds to go before the fourth quarter.
I'll tell you, that would have been a smart move by El Reno.
And now it will be a timeout for Piedmont as the play clock was winding down. So we'll take timeout too. 26.5 seconds to go here in the third period. Piedmont leads 14-7 over El Reno. This is Wildcat Football presented by Rob's Ranch. Third down and 21 for Piedmont. 26.5 seconds to go here in the third quarter as we're back to action here at F&M Bank Stadium. Mars back to pass, firing it deep down the sideline for Riggs. It goes incomplete. El Reno sideline asking for maybe an offensive pass interference, but it falls incomplete nonetheless.
So I was kind of hoping for a defensive pass interference there, but it is what it is. Some good coverage.
Very nicely done out there by Cole Mitchell. So El Reno forces another punt for Piedmont, and the Piedmont offense really bogged down here in the second half. A couple fumbles. The main story, high snap. Phelps gathers it in, sends away a nice punt.
Great
Mitchell
punt.
lets it bounce. It's a low roller, and he lets it go, and it's going to roll all the way down to the 28-yard line for a 51-yard punt. A nice job by Bo Phelps flipping the field a little bit here with 9.5 seconds to go in the third quarter. Ian will keep it right here. And the 2 fumbles for the Piedmont offense, the big story here in the second half. Of course, one of those leading to a defensive touchdown for El Reno, which has kept the score close. Piedmont unable to put anything away here in the third quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a rough quarter for them thus far. Well, thus far, it's almost over. It has been a great quarter.
3 wide receivers left, 1 to the right for El Reno. Mikey Devereaux in the backfield with Romanos. Romanos following his lead blocker up the middle. Nowhere to go. That'll be a gain of 0. A whole host of Wildcats in on the tackle, and that'll take us to the end of the third quarter. Riley Waits-Cox, number 89, Cole Malinsky in there on the tackle for Piedmont. So that brings us to the end of the third quarter, 14-7. Wildcats leading. We'll be back with more and the start of the fourth quarter right after this here on Crossover Radio Sports. Fourth quarter time here at F&M Bank Stadium. Piedmont 14, El Reno 7. 2nd and 9 out of the quarter break for El Reno. Evan Romanos, backup quarterback, gives to Devereaux. In the backfield, he is stacked up for a loss of 2. A lot of Wildcat defenders in there on that play. Dawson Metter, first time we've called his name tonight in there, along with Joey Mars. So a beautiful job in there for those guys.
Fantastic. Stop. That's been one of the only times I've been able to stop Devereaux. Big fourth down right here as you see the 11:30 marker on the scoreboard. If you cannot, that's a story within itself that we'll get to later. It's been the moniker of this defense. Let's see if they can do it.
Romanos rolling to his left. Fires it toward the sideline to Mitchell. He's got it. And he's out of bounds at the 36-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 9. It will not be enough for the first down.
That was a good pass by Romano. Stayed composed in the pocket with Joey Mars chasing after him. And I think they're going to go for it here.
4th and 2 in their own territory at their own 36-yard line. El Reno going for it here. We're just trying to draw Piedmont off sides. 10 on the play clock as Romanos looks to the sideline.
5 on the play clock now.
And he checks with 2, with 1.
He did
not get it off in time, it would appear. We're going to have a delay of game on El Reno. That's going to march off the Indians 5 yards.
And Dorton Plumley, who's the quarterback and the punter, is out today. So I don't know who's going to step up in that punting role.
It'll be Xavier Oquendo back out there to punt. And we've got an injured El Reno player, and I think that's Mikey Devereaux, who, as the whistle was being blown, got planted by James McGuire. Piedmont a little fortunate there was no whistle there and no penalty there, because probably could have been in that situation a clear, extracurricular activity by strict definition. So hopefully Devereaux is all right as he's being tended to by the El Reno training staff over here just in front of the Piedmont bench.
Yeah, hopefully Devereaux is okay because El Reno needs him. All the Devereaux. There's like 2 of them, right?
And it's actually not Devereaux. We saw the 4 correctly. It's actually number 14, Cade Mayo.
It's a big loss, too. One of their receivers.
And Mayo's had a couple nice defensive plays this evening as well. So as we stand right now, 4th and 7 for El Reno, as Mayo able to walk off under his own power.
I'm assuming El Reno's going to punt, but it is the 4th quarter, and again with this triple option offense, if it cannot be stopped, it's going to chew up a lot of clock. So
the officials just marked off a 15-yard penalty against El Reno. Not sure what happened there, but now the ball spotted back at the 16-yard line. We've seen a couple
of odd calls,
just not well communicated.
Delaying would be a 5-yard penalty, so that
because they marked off the delay of game, so something else happened. We got a clear false start. Nothing happened. Oguendo sends that one away.
Much better punt.
Herndon has it, running right down the sideline, high stepping, and he's knocked out of bounds by Oguendo.
Flag flies up in the air
At the 25-yard line, Herndon immediately grabbing at his calf as he ran over one of the ball boys down there. Herndon immediately needing that stretched out. Hopefully that's all it is.
Hopefully. Hendren is fantastic on the return side of it. Piedmont has some fantastic punt returners, and Caden Hendren, who is a fantastic receiver as well. He's been doing it on both sides of the ball.
So nice.
3 sides of the ball.
So nice punt, nice return. And it will be targeting. Targeting is the call on El Reno.
That's big.
Honestly, from my vantage point here, it looked like just a solid shot by Oguendo. Didn't look like he led with the helmet from our angle here. I mean, it pretty much as in front of us as you can be.
You pushing him out of bounds like after the play, do you think that would register for targeting? Because I don't think so.
Maybe so. That's the only thing I can think of. But this will be a half the distance to the goal penalty marked off from the 23-yard line.
Which I believe would put them.
So it'll be 1st and goal at the 12-yard line for Piedmont.
They punted from the 16. So basically they got +4.
So yeah, essentially a -4 net punt there. So 1st and 10 for Piedmont from the 12-yard line. El Reno coach Weston McGill on the far sideline looking for an explanation. I'm not sure what we've got now.
Is it a timeout? Or?
I think maybe an official's timeout or an El Reno timeout perhaps. Certainly seems to be getting a little chippy out there between the two squads as the El Reno coaching staff huddles the rest of the team that's not on the field right now all together at the 30-yard line. The defense huddled up around McGill at the 10-yard line. 11:07 to go in the game. Piedmont leading 14-7, knocking on the door after a long punt return by Caden Hendren and a targeting penalty on El Reno. So we'll see.
They're going back out onto the field now.
How all this shakes out. One of the El Reno coaches giving a spirited talk over there to his squad. And just a tough sight for El Reno fans. See Dorian Plumley just sitting on the bench by himself with a boot on his foot. Mars, the give to Morrison. Around the left side, stood up at the line of scrimmage by Colton Hunt. No gain on the play for Morrison.
And that's the kind of statement you want to bring out if you are El Reno. Put them in no gain. Put them already behind the 8 ball.
So 2nd and 10. Under 11 minutes to go in this one. Piedmont trying to a degree, put this one on ice and go up 2 scores again with 10.5 minutes to play. Can they punch it in? The offense has been plagued by issues in the second half. 2 turnovers, 1 resulting in a touchdown. Everyone in tight between the hashes. Mars sends Jones in motion. Mars gives to Morrison. He falls across the line of scrimmage. Give him 1 to the 11. Sigler was there. Some words being exchanged down there. It's definitely getting feisty out there, Ian, and you love to see that on opening night for Piedmont and the second game of the year for El Reno.
Hey, again, cross-county rivals, man. They do not like each other. Also, I wonder, how much confidence do you have in Preston Fancher to kick if you do not convert? That's going to be very interesting to see what Jeff Hall does.
From here, it'd be a 38-yard field goal. Mars checks to the sideline. 5 on the play clock. Gotta hurry. And Piedmont's going to take a timeout. 9:36 to go here in the fourth quarter. We'll take timeout with them. It's Piedmont 14, El Reno 7. We'll be back after this on Crossover Radio Sports, your home for sports from a different perspective. Welcome back to F&M Bank Stadium here in Piedmont. Wildcats leading El Reno 14-7. Luke McConnell, Ian Nickel here with you on Crossover Radio Sports and Squirtle TV. Receiver either side. 3rd and 9 for the Wildcats from the 11-yard line. Mars back to pass. Fade to the corner to Hendren. He's got it out of bounds.
He had 1 foot in bounds. Did not have the other one in bounds.
Excellent call by the official as the one out of bounds came down first. Hendren cramping up in that left calf, it looks like.
So close.
Very, very close. If he had kept just the toe down, I think he would have been in. But because the whole foot came down, he was ruled out of bounds. Correct call by the official there in that corner.
Now we see Preston Fancher
on to attempt the 29-yard field goal.
What is?
Not sure what the officials are
Think they're going to review it?
checking here.
Can we do that in college? We don't have a booth review, but be nice if we did.
There's enough streaming services here and at pretty much every game now where you can get some sort of video review.
Absolutely.
So it's actually going to be a 28-yarder. Phelps marking this one at the 18-yard line. Snap, hold, kick is on the way. It's a knuckleball, but it is good. It won't win a beauty contest, but it is points on the board, and it's a 2-possession game for Piedmont. With 9:28 to go, the Wildcats now take a 17-7 lead with the 28-yard field goal by Preston Fancher.
Credit to Bo Phelps for catching a very high snap and putting the ball in play in order for Preston Fancher to kick it. Good on him. That's special teams, man.
Absolutely.
Gotta love it.
You know, that's one thing, that's one area in particular that could probably be overlooked very easily in, this whole COVID situation with players potentially missing games due to infection and things like that. We saw it the other week in the college game with Austin P, they were down 2 long snappers. And you saw it immediately as the first 2 punts, one was rolled back to the punter and one went way over the punter's head. So the long snapper and the holder, very important roles in this game of football that can be overlooked in all this.
Absolutely.
So Fancher on to kick this one away from the 40-yard line, kicking left to right across your phone screen. Devereaux and Moore standing at their own 10-yard line back to receive it as the ball falls off the tee.
One thing about Piedmont, we got a lot of wind. There's no trees out here, so it's just...
That is for sure.
All the wind is just coming at you, full force.
Kind of interesting. It's a little bit east to west tonight, which is a little bit odd. Fancher boots this one away. It's going to be Devereaux at the 5. Bobbled it slightly. He'll head up the middle. Now cuts right. Now back up the middle. He's tripped up by number 62 for Piedmont. That's Carter Ashby getting down on the coverage team. Excellent job by Ashby.
Absolutely. The junior, 6'0", 215 pounds. Good stuff. Backup right tackle.
So it'll be first down for El Reno at their own 30-yard line, needing 2 scores with 9:21 to play.
If you are Evan Romanos, you got to be thinking, man, this is a lot. The pressure is on.
Excuse me, they're going to mark it at the 28. So 2 wide receivers right, 1 to the left. Moore is the running back to the left of Romanos. Romanos following Moore. Trying to probe the left side, bounces it outside. He's going to be wrestled down at the 30-yard line. Takeda Warrior with the tackle. They're going to give him up to the 31-yard line. So a gain of 3 for Romanos there. Just 4 rushing yards on 4 attempts here in the second half.
James McGuire's down. He's down with a cramp.
It is a warm evening tonight. We missed getting a cool start to the season by 1 week, as it's going to be in the upper 60s, low 70s next week.
James McGuire's still down.
Getting stretched out for a cramp there, so
Very.
we might be in for a long 4th quarter with the way the cramps are starting to pile up here.
James McGuire getting up again.
Walking off under his own power, and hopefully everyone can keep grabbing those fluids and pounding them down over the next little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, with the
Or else it is going to be a very long 4th
it
quarter.
is going to be. You do not want to have all those injury timeouts, because that gives breathers for everybody. Which if you're Piedmont, you want that defense to be tired.
So 2nd and 7 from the 31-yard line. Devereaux to the right of Romanos. 2 wide receivers right, 1 to the left. 9 minutes to play. They give us to Devereaux. Probing left, cuts back inside against Warrior, and he's going to be taken down at the 34-yard line, this time by number 85, Caden Wallace. The junior end coming up with a nice play there. Gain of 3 for Devereaux. His first carry of the second half. And it's going to be 3rd and 4 from the 34-yard line.
Big 3rd down right here. Crowd on the student section. I don't think it's sat down all night.
Again, a great crowd here in Piedmont. A masked crowd on the Piedmont side, at least.
Of course, of course.
2 wide receivers left. Romanos running left. Has a wide open Hunt across the middle. Dragging to the sideline. He's got it. And he's going to get up to the 43-yard line for the first down.
You can't stop that. 6'4", 225 pounds. He looks like Gronk out there. Just how tall he is.
So a pickup of 9 on the play. And Romanos now 3 for 3 in the second half for 32 yards after a 5 for 7. Giving him easy throws. Mitchell, the man in motion to the right. Romanos running right, following blockers, cuts it inside, spins away from a tackler, gets up to the 48-yard line. There's a flag on the play. hold everything. We're going to have a hold on El Reno. It's their 8th penalty of the night, and that'll send the Indians back behind the sticks once again. They'll mark it off from the line of scrimmage, so it will be 1st and 20. As you might expect, holding the primary variety of foul this evening. Actually, I missed the targeting penalty earlier.
Ooh.
So
That was a big one.
El Reno now up to 9 penalties with this one. Romanos back to pass. McGuire runs through Mayo, nearly got him, but it's gonna be Cameron West finishing off the sack back at the 26-yard line.
Cramp
James McGuire absolutely blew up Cade Mayo on the play. Mayo just 5'9", 175, trying to contain McGuire at 6'2", 265. That was a mismatch of the highest order.
What a
so
sack
that
right there.
one
That's big.
will send. It's a 7-yard loss on the play and a sack for West. Moore caught in the backfield, fumble the football, and McGuire falls on it. Cole Malinsky again with the forced fumble, and James McGuire falls on it at the El Reno 20-yard line. The 4th turnover of the night for the Indians, and Piedmont in business in the red zone once more with 7:05 to play.
Fantastic stuff right there from the Piedmont defense. Jeff Hall was telling us they're better this year. He's right. The aggressiveness, that's their 3rd turnover, I believe, of the game. Is that their 3rd or their 4th? The 4th turnover of today's game. That is phenomenal work by Cole Malinsky and James McGuire.
So Piedmont coming out 1st and 10, just inside the 20-yard line with 7:05 to play, leading 17-7. Starting to wear down this Indian defense. Mars gives it to Morrison. He lost the football, but I think Piedmont fell back on top of it at the 18-yard line. And it was Piedmont.
You got to hold on to that. We did not want
Glendon
another.
Barnes, Johnny on the spot from his right guard position.
Good on.
Falling on it. So no gain on the play for Morrison. Morrison racked up 31 yards on his first 4 carries of the second half. -1 on his next 4.
Wow.
El Reno has done a nice job bottling up this Piedmont rushing attack here in the second half. Receiver to either side. Mars flips it out wide. That's number 25, Colton Lushin. He's cutting inside and taken down at the 15-yard line.
First time we've called his name today as well.
So give him 5. Colton Lushin. That's a great last name. So 5 yards down. They mark it just outside the 15-yard line. So it'll be 3rd down. Actually, they've got the chains initially at the 19, it looks like. So we'll call it 3rd and along 6 here.
2 wide receivers. Flag.
And a whistle. Flag on the play. We got a false start here. So that'll set Piedmont back even further. 3rd and 12 now. So they will mark this back to the 21-yard line. 6:05 to play. Wildcats leading 17-7. A 28-yard Preston Fancher field goal a few minutes ago pushed the lead to 2 possessions. A Darius Moore fumble just a minute ago gave the Wildcats 1st and 10 inside the red zone. Mars fading for Hendren again. Short corner of the end zone. He came up with it! Touchdown, Piedmont!
He fought for that.
Hendren battled Cole Mitchell, and it looked like Gerard was over there as well. But Hendren with the strong hands came down with it and put another score on the board for the Wildcats.
Holy cow! Are you kidding me, Luke McConnell? What a play by Caden Hendren, fighting with two El Reno defenders. Wow!
The extra point is up and good from Talon Cope. So with 5:49 to play, Piedmont with now a commanding lead at 24-7. We'll take a break and be right back after this. This is Piedmont Wildcat Football presented by Rob's Ranch. Just a reminder, after this, be sure to stick around for the Friday Night Finals scoreboard show on Crossover Radio Sports. It'll get you caught up on scores from around the state, all classes. Preston Fancher sends this one deep. It's going to be Cade Mayo at the 3, working up the left sideline, and runs into a tackler right there at the 20-yard line. That's number 20, Mason Gonzalez, with his second special teams tackle of the evening. So El Reno will take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
If you're El Reno, I don't know how much do you take from this game if you're El Reno? You don't have your star quarterback who makes up about 85% of your offense. Do you just kind of just put this game on the shelf and just say, well, we weren't at full strength, or do you take the loss personally like Michael Jordan would do and just keep on and just want revenge and wait till the playoffs?
Well, it certainly comes with the caveat that Plumlee was out of this game. No doubt about it that this game definitely would have been different. Result might be the same, but the look of it different. Two wide receivers left, one to the right. Mitchell, the man in motion, to the top of the formation. Quick slant to Hull. A lot of grabbing there by Johnny Jones on the outside. It falls incomplete. More cramps.
Good coverage though.
Out there right now.
Good coverage. Not bad at all.
And while the Piedmont players being attended to, we'll pause for a quick promo for Friday Night Finals. Big thanks to Joel Reagan for him and Randy Renner. Friday Night Finals, again, getting you caught up on scores from around the state all season long here on Crossover Radio Sports following every Piedmont Wildcat football game. It will be 2nd and 10 from the 21-yard line after that incompletion to Kobe Knoll. First incompletion of the second half for Evan Romanos in just 4 attempts, but still the sophomore has been efficient. He's 8 for 11 for the game. Romanos rolling right, fires it to Knoll this time. He's popped right at the line of scrimmage again. This time, trying to see who that was out there on the far side. I believe it was Cameron West coming up with the tackle.
What I'll tell you, Evan Romanos has been put in very good spots. And, again, just a sophomore. And when Plumlee comes back and then graduates. El Reno is in good hands. El Reno's in good hands with Evan Romanos. This was a wake-up call for him, and I think he's prepared for the spotlight later on.
3rd and 8. Romanos back to pass. Passes down the middle. It's off the hands of Hunt, and it falls incomplete. Hunt taking exception to the tackle there by Mars. So
Great
a quick
coverage.
3 and out there for El Reno, and they will send the punting unit on the field with 4:52 to play.
Great coverage by Joey Mars right there. He's been doing so much this game. There's a flag.
Not sure what the flag is for. And it is a sideline warning for Piedmont.
Wow.
So no official yardage off there.
Low snap.
Guindo fields the low snap, sends the punt away, and it hits at the 43, backs up to the 40-yard line, where it is downed by Braden Gerard. And that is where the Piedmont Wildcats will take over with 4:44 to play in the 4th quarter. And, Ian, it has been a great night for the Wildcats. Certainly not the prettiest game both ways, really. Caden Hendren, 2 catches, 98 yards, 2 scores have been the big highlights in this one. And the Wildcat offense opting for the big play with those 2 touchdowns. And then, of course, the very opening drive, the long 72-yard touchdown drive that took 14 plays.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, it's the start of the season. They'll clean that up. This is an impressive performance for the Piedmont Wildcats, nonetheless, with 4 minutes and 44 seconds left to go.
Mars, the quarterback, 2 backs behind him. The give is to Morrison, right up the middle, and he takes it down to the 36-yard line. Mikey Devereaux and Darius Moore in on the tackle for El Reno.
Good run by Morrison right there. I'm looking like he's going to be the primary back, replacing Devontae Pickard from last year.
Certainly seems that way. 20 carries for Morrison this evening. 82 yards. Morrison right up the middle, breaking tackles, makes a man miss, cuts to the outside. Can he beat him to the corner? No, he cannot, but he'll be down at the 1-yard line. A 35-yard run for Morrison as he goes over 100 yards for the game, and Piedmont knocking on the door to blow this one wide open.
He must have heard that argument, or that thing you said about him getting like -1 yards in the last 4 carries, and he's like, I'm going to change that.
That's right. 2 carries, 39 yards on this drive for Morrison. Excuse me, they give him the 2-yard line, so 34 yards on that gain. And Piedmont looking to punch this one in with 3:40 to play. Mars under center. Looked like a false start, but a push up the front by Mars, and they mark him short of the goal line at the 1-yard line. Looked like half the line moved considerably early there.
Yeah, Piedmont got lucky there.
Not the first time we've seen a near false start happen and then not be called.
This O-line has been very impressive. Again, they brought back 4 of the 5 guard linemen.
So Mars under center. He will plow ahead into the end zone, and that should be enough for the Piedmont touchdown. And it is. There's the official signal from the line judge, and Piedmont pouring it on El Reno, now up 30-7 with 2:53 to play.
Piedmont, again, playing for a fallen classmate. They wanted this really bad, and
they certainly did. Certainly did. Joey Mars has been outstanding running the quarterback position this evening. Couple fumbles on pitches. Wouldn't necessarily cast blame one way or the other on those, as Kicker Talon Cope puts it up and in for the punctuation mark on this one. 31-7, Piedmont leading this one. But Mars has done an excellent job tonight from that quarterback position, both on the quarterbacking side and quarterbacking the defense from that middle linebacker position.
He's been phenomenal throughout the course of this game. Man, you got to give him credit. He coming back from that ACL injury, he looks good. And I expect some colleges to come down here and say, we want him on our team. He's a beast.
Morrison has done an excellent job tonight carrying the workload for the Piedmont offense. Again, overall, haven't sustained a ton of drives. That was really the second longest drive that they've sustained all evening outside of the very opening possession. But it has been effective nonetheless and has led to a 31-7 lead with 2:53 to play.
As we wait the kickoff, we want to remind you next week, September 11th, the Putnam City North Panthers will host your Piedmont Wildcats.
Kickoff set for 7 o'clock from the new Putnam City North Stadium. Looking forward to being in that facility for the first time.
I was there last year with
Ball is in preseason form as well, as it has fallen off the tee twice now for Preston Fancher.
I was there at Putnam City North's facility. They are phenomenal. It's a good-looking field. It's a good-looking press box. So that should be a lot of fun. They're a good team as well.
Fancher set to kick this one away to Moore and Devereaux. Sends a low knuckling kick, hits at the 10. Devereaux picks it up at the 8. Running right, cuts it up the middle, runs into his own man and is taken down at the 29-yard line. That's number 15, Cole Riggs on the tackle. And that's where El Reno will set up with 2:44 to play, trailing 31-7.
That was a good game. What we got score-wise?
Looking across the score here. Sky took 31, Glenpool 7. That's a final. The scoring slowed down a little bit in Lawton, 41-34. MacArthur leads Eisenhower in the fourth quarter. We'll see Eisenhower later in the season. Bartlesville 34, Claremore 10. That's a final. Carl Albert up 35-20 over Midwest City. Wagner takes care of Coweta 28-0. 2 wide receivers right, 1 to the left. Romanos, keeper up the middle, makes a man miss in the hole, but it's going to be Dawson Metter with the tackle after a gain of 3 for Romanos.
And Luke, as you may know, Carl Albert is the team to beat. This is
Absolutely.
Once again, the
always and forever. Collinsville 34, Oologah 24. Guthrie beating Putnam City West 36-20.
They have good facilities as well.
Indeed. Sapulpa 61-7 over Edison. Tahlequah 20, McLean 2. We're back to action. 2 wide receivers either side for El Reno. Moore in the backfield. Hunt comes in motion. Romanos rolling left is in trouble, and Dawson Metters got him for the sack back at the 25-yard line.
Nobody was there to stop him. What a play, Dawson Metter.
Great job by the junior from that strong side linebacker position. Haven't called his name a bunch here tonight, but has gotten some run here in the second half. So it'll be 3rd down and 13 here for El Reno. 1:37 clock moving as we tick down the final moments of this one. A dominating start to this 2020 season for Piedmont. Romanos following Moore right up the middle. Cannot shake away from Riley Waitscock. What a great play in the middle, shedding the block and getting the tackle for loss back to the 25-yard line.
6'3", 255 pounds of pure beast as El Reno sets the punt again.
Clock running right at a minute to go in this one. And it'll be all over but the shouting here for Piedmont tonight. As Oquindo back to punt once again. Nobody back deep for Piedmont. Oquindo sends a knuckleball, lands at the 48 and checks back to midfield. They'll mark it at the 49-yard line of El Reno, and that's where Piedmont will head out to take a knee or two to wrap things up here in Piedmont.
This offense has been very impressive. I'm going to tell you this. Last 2 games against Reno, they've had 31 points combined. Had 24 in the victory in November and 7 in the loss. They've eclipsed that tonight, or they've gotten right at that. Impressive performance from the offense, despite some mistakes.
Yeah, that was with 2 fumbles, and the only score for El Reno tonight was a defensive touchdown, a 45-yard Darius Moore fumble return for a touchdown on the second of those 2 second-half fumbles. Victory formation here for Piedmont. Mars will take 1 knee.
Heck of a game for Piedmont.
And we will see if we need to do one more here.
Maybe.
Well, they haven't reset the play clock, so I would say that they do not. So that's going to do it here from F&M Bank Stadium as the final seconds tick off the clock. And we saw the scrimmage last week, no handshake line. So we'll see if...
They're lining up as if there's a handshake. We'll see.
Yeah, looks like no handshake line.
What
so
a
just,
win.
Just waves across the field from both sides. The final score from F&M Bank Stadium, your Piedmont Wildcats 31, El Reno 7. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, we'll have final stats and analysis and get you ready for next week as Piedmont goes on the road to take on Putnam City North. This is Piedmont Wildcats football presented by Rob's Ranch. 31-7, the final score here at F&M Bank Stadium as the Piedmont Wildcats get off to a hot start with the 2020 season with a dominating performance over their rivals down south against El Reno. Luke McConnell, Ian Nickel here high above Stout Field and getting things wrapped up. And Ian, a fantastic performance for the Wildcats. It looked initially in the first quarter like Piedmont was just going to have their way offensively all night long. That wasn't the case, but the final score definitely indicated the dominance that the Wildcats showed tonight.
Yeah, and credit to El Reno. They had the fight in them, and it's unfortunate that their quarterback Dorian Plumley could not play today because that would have made this game probably a lot closer. But regardless of that, Piedmont came to play, and they saw in the rankings that El Reno was right above them. And again, like in the last dance, they took that personally, and they came out and proved why they are a force to be reckoned with in 5A football. And they're proving that last season was not a fluke. They're proving that this is going to be the new norm.
Again, the final 31-7, Piedmont got on the board first with a 72-yard touchdown drive, a 3-yard Brock Detar touchdown run. Piedmont went up 14-0 on a 78-yard touchdown pass from Bo Phelps to Caden Hendren, and held a 14-0 lead at halftime. El Reno cut the lead to 14-7 on a 45-yard Darius Moore fumble recovery return for a touchdown. But it was all Piedmont after that. A 28-yard field goal from Preston Fancher, a touchdown run by Joey Mars, a 1-yard plunge, and a 20-yard touchdown pass from Mars to Hendren provided the final margin of 31-7. Running through the final stats for you. First for Piedmont, 5 carries, 14 yards, and a touchdown for Joey Mars. He was 1 for 4 through the air with a 20-yard touchdown. Just 2 completions tonight for Piedmont in 5 attempts. Both of those touchdown passes to Caden Hendren, 20 yards and 78 yards.
If you're going to complete passes, they might as well be touchdowns.
Absolutely.
So I'll take that.
2 carries, 10 yards for Jacob Copeland. 8 carries, 31 yards, and a touchdown for Brock Detar. 2 carries for Decatur Warrior. 1 for Hendren, 2 carries, 6 yards for James McGuire. 4 carries, 17 yards for Johnny Jones. And 21 carries, 116 yards for Wesley Morrison, the undisputed workhorse of the night for Piedmont. And that was a big question for the Wildcats, who was going to carry the load with Devontae Pickard graduated from a year ago, and those 1,600 yards got to come from somewhere. Wesley Morrison was outstanding tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Wesley Morrison showed up and proved why he deserved that spot. Fantastic work by him. I'm looking forward to seeing him the rest of the season, and we'll see how far they can go throughout the season. But, yeah, Jeff Hall said next man up, and they showed up tonight. Again, new quarterback, new running backs, 93% of the offense, or at least the rushing attack, like you said, was gone. No problems so far for Piedmont.
Defensively, McGuire was outstanding tonight. James McGuire, 2 fumble recoveries for him. Riley Waitscox with 2 tackles. Cole Malinsky with a forced fumble late that helped seal the deal. Dawson Metter with a strong second half, tackle for loss and a sack for him in the second half. Joey Mars was awesome on defense from that middle linebacker position, 7.5 tackles tonight. 2 tackles on special teams for Mr. Mason Gonzalez. He was great in coverage there. Brock Tatar had a forced fumble as well. Decatur Warrior with the interception at the end of the first half. Just a great performance from the Piedmont defense, who was able to pin their ears back a little bit against a backup quarterback in Evan Romanos.
Surprising stat, only 1 sack from the, is that correct? 1 sack? Which you got to give
This is
credit.
my amateur stat taking, so that could be incorrect, but fairly confident it was only 1 true sack.
You got to give credit to that El Reno offensive line. Again, they had a guy 255 pounds, 260 pounds, 275 pounds, 260 pounds, 250. It's a beefy O-line for El Reno. And also credit to the Piedmont's O-line. I don't think they gave up a sack either. So, again, that was a battle of the trenches for sure with those offensive and defensive lines, which is very impressive.
Indeed. For El Reno, Evan Romanos forced into action. Certainly put it all out there. The sophomore definitely, if for nothing else, played hard, left it all out on the field. Just 12 carries, 9 yards tonight for Romanos. He was 9 of 13 through the air, 51 yards and an interception. Darius Moore, just 3 carries tonight, unofficially, I should say. 57 yards for him. 4 carries for Mikey Devereaux for 27 yards. Through the air, 2 catches, 23 yards for Colton Hunt. 1 catch, 7 yards for Braden Gerard. 5 catches, 31 yards for Cole Mitchell, and 2 catches for Kobe Knoll. 4 turnovers for El Reno tonight. Really the biggest problem for the Indians. The biggest one, of course, coming late in the first half, inside the 5-yard line, a fumble on the exchange by Romanos and a Piedmont recovery. And then a few plays later, the 78-yard touchdown to Hendren, a massive swing of events there. And El Reno did cut the lead to 7, but it certainly would have been a different ball game going in tied at 7 at halftime.
Yeah, absolutely. The turnovers were a big reason why El Reno lost. And 4 turnovers is very costly. And Piedmont winning the turnover battle, any team winning the turnover battle, that usually means good things for them.
Defensively for the Indians, 2 tackles for Xavier Devereaux, 2 tackles for Ryan Sigler, 3 tackles for Colton Hunt, 7.5 tackles for Darius Moore, plus the fumble return for the touchdown, 5.5 tackles from the middle linebacker spot for Aiden Dyer, 3.5 tackles for Mikey Devereaux, and 3 tackles for Cade Mayo, and 3.5 tackles from the middle of that line for Angel Guzman. So a strong performance for the Piedmont Wildcats to get the season started off on the right foot with a 31-7 win over El Reno. And Ian, as we wrap things up here, what are you looking for next week, things to improve upon for Piedmont going into the game against Putnam City North?
Well, I think the turnover battle is going to be very interesting as that Putnam City North game just went final 31-6 over Putnam City, and if you heard that on the Pirate Radio Network, you would have already known that. I think the other thing that's going to be interesting is how often are they going to pitch the ball like they have been doing, because both of those turnovers were because of pitches, and that Putnam City North defense is definitely going to be bigger and stronger than I think any team that Piedmont will face, because they're 6A2. It's going to be a good game, and it's going to be a big step up for Piedmont, who usually takes on Weatherford, who's solid, but they haven't faced a Putnam City North team like this. They're going to be good this year.
And we will be there for you. 7 o'clock tip-off is coming in a few months, but kickoff, 7 o'clock kickoff next week from Putnam City North Stadium. We will be there to bring you coverage of Wildcat football all season long. Thanks for joining us this evening. Again, the final from F&M Bank Stadium, Piedmont 31, El Reno 7. For Ian Nickel, this is Luke McConnell saying good night from Piedmont.
Support your school's booster club and get your business in front of thousands of potential customers.
Talk about a win-win.
Advertising packages start on this streaming station for less than $10 a game. Call 405-726-0835 or email adam@squirtle.com right now for more information.
Stream like the pros with Squirtle Live. Find out more at squirtle.com/stream.
Score that perfect design at Touchdown Graphics just north of the curve in Pond Creek. They offer screen printing and embroidery on t-shirts, shorts, hoodies, and more. Show your spirit for your school, team, club, or special event with a custom design from Touchdown Graphics. Call 580-532-4579 or see them online at touchdowngraphics.com. Touchdown Graphics. It's good.